off, I didn't know I was going to rehab. I thought that we were just going to visit somebody and drop off supplies in Mexico. So when I went in to use the restroom and I came out, I was like, where's my mom? Oh, ya se fueron. What do you mean ya se fueron? They closed the gate behind us.
Oh, so your mom took you?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Because it was an Anexo, you know.
Un Anexo, exactly. Me dejaron ahí. So
you're like, damn.
So I was like this. I was literally dressed in like pinstripe little beige. I was like, who is my mom? You know? No, te dejaron. I was like, what do you mean? Es que ocupas ayuda, mija. Así me dijeron. ¿Cómo que ocupo ayuda? And I was like, where's my mom? Let me out of here. I can still catch up to her. And they're like, no, you're not going anywhere. Okay, well, I started screaming and like punching at them. Yeah, so they had to like hold me down and put me in some room. They left one girl in front of me, like in charge of me to take care of me because it's an Anexo, you can't leave. Yeah. It's not like the States. And that's when I think I spoke about the other on the podcast with Jonathan is there was a window. So I noticed that I quickly saw that there was no panel on the side of the window. So I was able to tap it out with my finger. I grabbed it, banged against the wall, and told her, open the door. Get out of here. Yeah. I can't open the door. I swiped at her stomach. I will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Open the door. And I ran out of the Anexo. Woo! I made it to the street when because it's a women Anexo, then there's a men's Anexo. Yeah. All the men came running down. They made a circle around me and I was just swinging for my life. What I thought was weird because I was like, I think I'm kidnapped. But then I was like, why are they not trying to kill me? So it was very...
Doris, thank you for being here. Welcome to the Roots of Ambition. Let's go.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Senorita.
I like how you yelled out pain. We'll start there.
Yeah, hey man. Hey, before we even get started, I gotta hear. Did I do okay with my speech over at SVBM? Did I do all right?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
It was like a motivational speaker. I was like this, moving in my seat, like, yeah, all right, let's go. You did amazing. Thank you. And I really was able to hear your story from, humble beginnings. I think a lot of us, humble beginnings, we appreciate things more because of these beginnings that we've had and just outgrowing certain areas, outgrowing certain people with this mindset of an entrepreneur, and then being to build off of that, and then being an inspiration to others. So
thank you.
Congratulations to you. I'm very proud. It was amazing. It was amazing. And that's why I first had met Angel as well.
Right.
No, but what you're saying about his story, I know you mentioned right now, like, hey, you guys put pain out there, but he's able to tell that story with such passion because he went through that pain. And so that's one of the things we like to do here is like, we want to show the success, but we don't shy away from the darkness too, because without darkness, there's no light.
Yep.
And so you need to have that balance. And so,
you were in my mind. That's why I'm like, what the heck? I had this conversation 2 weeks ago with my friend, contrast. There is no light without no darkness, yin and yang. There is light. The people, why are you so happy to, why this? I'm like, you don't even want to know the depths of the darkness, the bottom of the iceberg, and to get to this tip, to this side of the light, where now I can appreciate very small, beautiful things. So I'm like, what? Right on the spot. Hey, contrast.
Let's jump on that just really quick. So I had this conversation with my brother the other day. I got two brothers, Ivan and Angel. I don't give that title to any man in my life, right? So I was just telling him, like, I'm really big on trying to reminding my kids to be grateful because they, I'm very grateful that God put me in a position to provide for them and to not let them see what I went through, right? But sometimes for me, it's like, man, the way my brother said it yesterday is like sometimes they don't like, they understand gratefulness, but they don't understand it the way you do because you came from that really nasty side of life and you got to this other side and you blessed them. He's also for them, it's very hard to really understand the amount of gratefulness you have, right? How important is just being grateful for you? Because you and I share very similar stories. We come from addiction. We come from just a heavy background. We've been through some dark stuff. For you, what does gratefulness mean to you?
And I've seen you on podcasts, and congratulations for speaking. I feel like there's these messages that need to be shared with people, like we were saying before.
Yeah.
Social media makes it easier for us to share this message.
Yeah.
So you were talking about how you were, I don't want to go over it, but down in the pits, and your wife stuck around. You had your angel with you, many angels, and coming out of that struggle. So I've seen your podcast, obviously, I've been following. So thank you for sharing that. And now the question, gratitude. Well, dang, I was a spoiled little kid. We were not rich, but I was the first girl in my family, the Borjon. So it's like a bunch of male cousins, male cousins, male cousins. And then it was me, a female girl born in 1982.
Yeah.
1982.
Like, you were born in the 1900s. I'm like, boy,
in the 80s. And it was a girl. So they're like, yeah, a girl. And then 2 days after me was my other girl cousin. And then finally the girls started coming along. So when I was younger, it was like we didn't have a lot of money, but I was cherished. I had a lot of stuff. So they would call me pulga, and I would just bounce around, and it was like, ¿Qué quiere comer la niña? Yeah, pulga. Apart from other rough stuff, that was a pretty stuff that's I'm talking about now. So back then, I couldn't practice gratitude. I feel like things were just getting easy for me.
Gotcha.
And when it comes easy, it's harder to be grateful. You can't really the gratitude. So I had deep thoughts as a young child, which I was thinking about on the way over here, but gratitude I didn't learn until further down, when you start losing things. When you start losing, not just material things, when you start losing loved ones. I didn't know what death was until I actually saw it happen. People in my family, I was like, okay, this is odd. But then when it actually hit home, you see death. And then in the alcoholism, I think I started drinking when I was about 17. So that's when I started being grateful, I guess, for still being alive. But honestly, not until I lost it all. Not until I lost it all. Because even though we were not rich, we were not wealthy, I was a little spoiled. Like, ¿qué quiere la niña? Vamos para acá, vamos a Puerto Vallarta. And my dad would spend I was taught to travel. My family instilled in me to travel the world, to see the world, to see the beauty of things and not just be in San Jose. So nos íbamos, when I was in 8th grade, me mandaron Washington, D.C., New York.
Wow.
So all of these things, I was like, okay, I felt like I deserved them. So growing up, I felt like I deserved things and I was not grateful. And then everything ends. I started alcoholism. After I went to college in the year 2000. I started drinking when I was 17. I was suspended from high school because I threw up in class.
I've been there before.
It was Jack Daniels.
Yeah, oh no.
We went to Alum Rock Park, drank up there, came back down. Everybody went to class. I was the one that had grabbed the last of the Jack and chugged it before we got into the car.
Yeah.
So I got back into class and I was like super dizzy. I put my head down and just started throwing up.
Wow.
So there's just Jack Daniels everywhere. And somebody was like, "What's that smell?" I was like, "Bitch, it's me." I'm just kidding. So one of my friends, because she helped me out later in further years down the line. She took me to the bathroom. Like everybody shut up and took me to the bathroom, and I just and that's it. I didn't rat out my my fellow friends that were with me. I was the only one that's suspended. Who was with you? Nobody. Whatever. Where did you go? I ratted out the liquor store. I did. That was in 1998.
Okay.
So I don't want to ruin their business. That was a very long time ago. But yeah, that's when I started drinking. After I got suspended, I stopped drinking. But then when I took off to college in Long Beach, it was like, my parents were very protective of me. So when I left for school in Long Beach, I was living in the dorm, but I was always a super protective, like pretty little princess type of a thing. Kind of a tomboy because I grew up with brothers, but very protected. And then I started drinking.
Did you get a scholarship to go to school? Or
no. So I barely graduated high school. Apart from that suspension, I was cutting class all the time. So even though I stopped drinking in high school, I still, they couldn't keep my attention in high school. Maybe I have ADHD, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they couldn't keep my attention and I barely graduated. So my senior year, I had to take extracurricular classes because I was cutting school all the time. So no, I barely graduated high school. I found out the day before the graduation that I was passing, I think it was English I need to finish, and then some other credits, so they barely let me graduate. Okay. There was no scholarship to school. I chose design. Because I liked beautiful things. I've always have beautiful things.
Right on.
And I have this imagination to see and create beautiful things. Maybe not so much now, but
you're doing great now, babe.
Well, thank you. Maybe with my words and hopefully my actions and anything else. But
that's still art.
Thank you. The plan was to create beautiful. I wanted to do couture.
Right.
Anyways, so I went to school for that. I went to school for design. So the first year was amazing. I didn't drink too much, and then then I met up with some buddies. I ended up meeting this guy, and again, I don't want to blame it on him, but he was a drug addict and a small time dealer.
Right.
So he introduced me to, apart from I was already drinking when I met him, so it wasn't his fault. He introduced me to other things. Cocaine, ecstasy, and crystal, because it's cheaper than cocaine.
Right.
So Long Beach, you got to get the. I was a college student. I could afford the cocaine, so we went for the crystal. Introduced me to crystal.
Yeah.
That didn't last too long, obviously, but I dropped out of college. I didn't finish. Okay. And then I came back home defeated. I left my apartment, left everything behind, came back to San Jose. And when I got back, I was a different person.
Right.
The boost changes. You're like a zombie, like a shell of a person with no purpose.
Right.
And was the drinking went from just having fun to like, I can't control it anymore, or was it?
Right.
It started to when I was 17, me saying that I didn't want to be an alcoholic because I saw it in my family. Present and extended family. I saw it there, and I saw how they were addicted to it. And I said, I can never do that. I would say it out loud. I can never do that. I can never be that. So after I got suspended, I just stopped. It was for fun at that time.
Yeah.
Once I was going to college, I think since I was so protected, I guess, again, despite being a tomboy, because I was always out with my brothers and whatnot, I started getting a really bad anxiety. So instead of getting treated by a medical doctor, I would treat my anxiety with booze.
Yes.
So to calm my nerves.
Yes.
Because it's like, I was so protected. They would let me go to the movie, they would let me do this and that, but I was always really quiet, really timid. I would get yelled at a lot as a kid, cállate, pendeja, and those things stick with you.
Yes.
Right.
So I had really low self-esteem. What else, Because I was thinking, why alcoholism? Why? Because I was like, what if you guys ask me? And I'm just going to say it now.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like it's a lack of self-love. Part of it. It's like, why don't you love yourself if you're gonna drink this and kill yourself? So for me, it was a lack of self-esteem.
Right.
So
it's crazy. Like I forgot the other guy. Forgot his name, but he said it so perfect for me. Like it's all around you growing up. Yeah. It's your family, it's your friends and their family and the homeless people in the street. So it's just like, for me, it was just like, that's what you do because they do it. And you're not told. Like I was given alcohol at 5-6 years old, right? Just to try it. And then I noticed at a very young age that it slowed my thinking down. Like I felt like I was normal. Right? Because for so long, I mean, even at an early age, like I always had crazy thoughts. I always had crazy feelings. I had impulses, like, and when I would drink, I just felt like I was normal like everyone else now. Right?
Okay.
And that's what, for me, that's what kept it going. Right? Because I noticed every time I drink, my nerves would settle. My anxiety would come down. Okay. Right? Which was it was definitely not a good excuse. But would you say that a big part of addiction comes from whatever drug it is, but a part of it comes from your circumstance, your culture, where you're raised, where you're living, your in-house? Because the way Homeboy said it, he's all like, for example, I used to have my daughters and my son run to the refrigerator and give me a beer.
Right.
Okay.
Right?
Normalized in our culture.
Right. So it normalized, right? And I was thinking, like, when I heard that, like, damn, dude, I used to have my daughters and my son run and give me my beers, right? And, like, I remember I got to an age where I started being aware of it, and I stopped it naturally. But when he said that, I'm like, damn, I used to have my daughter run and give me a beer every time I'm sitting on the couch, right? Or I get home from work, give me a beer. Go get me a beer. Go get me a beer. Right? And now I catch myself talking to my kids like, no, that wasn't right.
Yeah.
Now that I'm on this other side, like, no, don't. If you have kids, don't do that. Please don't do that.
No.
Right? I should have never done that. Right? I just wasn't aware of that. So do you think it comes from like your circumstance, where you're raised?
That's a tough one. See, it's normalized in our culture, but I never saw it as bad. Because we would go, exactly what he said. I never saw it as bad because we would go to the rancho, matábamos el chivo, había pisto, we'd go on horseback riding, So again, I was in this world,
Because it's attached to good memories. It's fun, it's party, it's celebration.
Yes. So for me, that was different. But I like what you said about our thoughts. So see, I would always have racing thoughts, even as a child. So it just grew into really big anxiety.
Yeah.
And then, and I don't like putting my family on blast, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
In the household, it was my two brothers running around all the time. I was small, and they would get mad that they'd be, que come lo que quiera. They'd give me money. I'd be like, chips, potatoes, because they were trying to fan me up because I was really small. So my brothers, they would get mad. I went to overboard.
It's so true, though, dude.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's whatever it was to fatten me up. Okay. They took me to the doctor and everything.
Yeah.
Anyways, vitamins. And my brothers, they gave me vitamins.
Yeah.
So my brothers were jealous, and one of them was in wrestling, and he would grab me and just throw me.
Oh, no.
Wow! So I was like, it's getting bullied slightly in my own household, but at the same time, and my mom has apologized for this. When I finally got to rehab, she went and she says, "Mija, I'm sorry that you're here." And she's like, "I want to apologize por ser la capataz." I'm never going to forget that she said that. Lo siento, mija. She started crying. I'm sorry. Forgive me for being la capataz. I always told you exactly what to do, what not to do, what to say, everything in Spanish. And she was just crying. Wow. I'm never going to forget that conversation because for so long, I was afraid to speak at all. Period. People tell you you're stupid, you're a pendeja, you believe it.
You believe it.
You believe it.
Yeah. And that's where I think there's a huge lack of self-love. It turns into anxiety, and the booze would calm the anxiety. And now it's like, well, self-love I got. I don't need booze. So it's a huge mind shift, and there's a lot of factors that go into alcoholism. I do believe it's a disease. I believe that we can never even touch it again. The smell kind of... I'll still go hang out. You guys see me. I'm still in Vegas. I'm still here. I still network.
You're around
I'm still around it. I know to me it's death. So you guys, whoever is, you guys enjoy it. And I'm so happy that you can enjoy it. To me, that cup is death and I don't even want to smell it.
Wow.
So it's going to stay there and awesome. But I can't do it because I had done rehab several times here in the Bay Area. So again, there's a lot of factors. But when I was in Mexico, when I finally went to rehab in Mexico in 2005, after several attempts in the Bay Area, I learned a lot. We started the AA steps, and that's where I realized that it is a disease. You can never drink again. And I was just reflecting on the factors of it. One big one that I had thought about last week was omnipotence. I was thinking omnipotencia in Espanol. It's thinking that you are God, bigger than God, or better than God type of a thing. Oh. So I was reflecting last week when I confirmed through Calendly, great system you guys have for this podcast. So when I answered the questions, I was like, they're going to ask me, I'm going to have to say. When I was in rehab, I was the madrina. So I did detox. I tried to run away, detox, whatever. And then they put me in charge. They're like, okay, you're because I was kind of a bitch or whatever. Like, you're in charge of all the women now, right? So they put me in charge and I had to follow through with all this discipline. It was AA meetings, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah. Food, shower, meeting. Shower, or food, meeting, whatever.
Structure.
It was complete, absolute discipline. The way that rehab center works, and you guys can bring me back to the topic that we were talking about, but the way that rehab works, well, first off, I didn't know I was going to rehab. I thought that we were just going to visit somebody and drop off supplies in Mexico. So when I went in to use the restroom and I came out, I was like, where's my mom? Oh, ya se fueron. What do you mean ya se fueron? They closed the gate behind us.
Oh, so your mom took you?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Because it was an Anexo,
Un Anexo, exactly. Me dejaron ahí. So
you're like, damn.
So I was like this. I was literally dressed in like pinstripe little beige. I was like, who is my mom? No, te dejaron. I was like, what do you mean? Es que ocupas ayuda, mija. Así me dijeron. ¿Cómo que ocupo ayuda? And I was like, where's my mom? Let me out of here. I can still catch up to her. And they're like, no, you're not going anywhere. Okay, well, I started screaming and like punching at them. Yeah, so they had to like hold me down and put me in some room. They left one girl in front of me, like in charge of me to take care of me because it's an Anexo, you can't leave. Yeah. It's not like the States. And that's when I think I spoke about the other on the podcast with Jonathan is there was a window. So I noticed that I quickly saw that there was no panel on the side of the window. So I was able to tap it out with my finger. I grabbed it, banged against the wall and told her, open the door. Get out of here. Yeah. I can't open the door. I swiped at her stomach. I will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Open the door. And I ran out of the Anexo. Woo! I made it to the street when because it's a women Anexo, then there's a men's Anexo. Yeah. All the men came running down. They made a circle around me and I was just swinging for my life. What I thought was weird because I was like, I think I'm kidnapped. But then I was like, why are they not trying to kill me? So it was very confusing.
So nobody explained it. You're just like, now you're locked away.
Mija, you need help.
But no big explanation.
But there was no explanation.
Mom is gone.
Yeah, my instincts were like.
What was the first night like there?
Holy crap.
Like, did you sleep that night, first of all?
I don't remember they tied me up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The first 1-2 days, they tied me up. So after they caught me, they tied me up like this. But then they saw that I was still awake and looking. I think they put me on my stomach, and then I was tied up, hog tied with them. And they just put a little blanket over me. If you need anything, and I was like, what the?
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy.
So what were your feelings? Were you feeling
Now I
more
laugh.
worried, like, oh my God, they're kidnapping me? Or was it like, what am I going to do here? Or
Okay, so good point. Damn, I'm going to go back. Let me think. My thoughts were, I'm not staying here. I'm not staying here.
Yeah.
I'm an alcoholic. I'm going to die an alcoholic, and you guys are going to help me. That's what my thoughts were. Yeah. Because I had already succumbed to the fact. You know, when they say die young, die beautiful, whatever, and people are just like, okay, I'll do it. I had already figured if I was throwing up blood, you cannot keep this away from me. Like when there was no booze, I was under 21. It would be rubbing alcohol with orange juice. It'd be a fake ass
So you were
screwdriver.
defeated at that point.
I was done. There was no getting me out of it. I was not in my right mind anymore. I was gone. But you look at me and you could see in my eyes like madness, obviously. But I looked like a regular, like I've always looked like a little teacher or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I looked fine, but it's just full blown. I had given up. Period.
Wow.
So what I had thought was they're not going to keep me here, and that's why they tied me down, because a lot of we're called doceavos. Doceavos is a 12th step. When you move on and you help when you're sober, and then it's time to you get back and you're going to help that person, and you do that by mentoring, sponsoring, etc. Okay, apadrinamiento in Spanish. So what I had thought was I'm leaving. So during the doceavo period, I think it was like 1 week where I was in that room. Finally, they untied me, and then I realized that they didn't really kill me. I think that took about a day or two for me to calm down and like, okay, they don't want to kill me. So I can run away, but I'm going to try not to kill them this time. You know, so I was always looking for a way out, and it just didn't happen because there was guards. There was female guards, and I think that they put other male guards outside in case I try to go again.
And was there also help, or was it just like you're locked away here and we're forcing you to this
It
special?
was full on help. It was forced help.
Right.
So
whether you liked it or not.
It was forced help. So doceavo, the detox period, mine was booze and pills. It wasn't so much crystal at that time. My addiction was Ativan. Lorazepam and Ativan, those pills that knock you out. I would do those, a lot of those, and then booze. So I think for 1 week I was detoxing, throwing up, just pale sweat. So they let me, showers with cold water. Well, the tub, it was a bucket with water. Cold ass ice water. And then after that 1 week time period when you're just not throwing up anymore and your body can they sit your ass in front of a meeting, front row. So it was structured AA meetings 3 times a day. So every single day at the same time, we would wake up, 5 or 6 in the morning. Then we would, I don't know how far your camera goes, but after we would get up and brush our teeth like with some water inside a bucket, we would all stand up and do disciplina for 1 hour. So disciplina, I'm going to get up and then I'll sit back down. But I'll show you how damn. Sorry, give me a second. It might cut off my head, but disciplina was
No, you're good.
Disciplina was this.
Yeah.
Oh.
This. You're going to stand like this for 1 hour without moving. And if you moved, we had to do this.
Oh, wow.
So that was that. So I had to do that for...
We did that at school in Mexico, but only
6
for
months.
like 5 minutes, not for an hour.
Ours was an hour.
That's crazy.
And after a week, they threw me in there. So thank God the arthritis wasn't back then, because I wouldn't have. So if you twitch or you scratch yourself, so there was in charge of disciplina, if you scratch yourself, manos para arriba. So I got that job very soon after I got it.
You're like, how do I get that position right now?
Yes.
So what will happen what will happen if you didn't want to show up to one of your 3 AA meetings a day? Like, especially when you're starting, you're fighting this, I'm assuming.
You didn't have a choice.
Oh, no, you don't want to. It was called Módulo de Mujeres. So it was just one room with a bunch of blankets on the floor.
Oh, so they're coming to you, so you have
We were all there. I lived there in a room. I lived in a room. And then everything was locked. And there was guards basically all night, women. So again, I got the job later. So I had to run the discipline area. And then I had to run the whole center. I ran the center about 5 or 6 years, and people try to kill me all the time.
Wow.
It is what it is. So it was karma. That's why I fully believe in karma. So that's why they come in scared, whatever. I'm not going to let you kill me, but I'm not going to hurt you. So I had to deal with those doceavas like every other day.
Yeah, because you were them at one point.
I was them. You can't, I'm not going to punch you and try to keep you. No, I'm just going to, we're going to hold you, and we're going to tie you, and we're going to do cold water, and that's how that went.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you guys seen or follow. I follow the La Patrulla Espiritual, so who is an Anexo place.
Oh, okay.
And they're super famous right now. I don't know if you ever guys seen it. Oh, look it up. They're
I'll look it up.
super famous in Mexico right now. And basically, they show this whole process, and they go and pick up people in TJ and Rosarito, and so they'll be like,
take them.
Sometimes they come in and just grab them, and there's 4 guys and throw them in the van, and or sometimes they trick them. They're like, hey, I need help with this job. They get them, they take them, they give them lunch, and they show up and they can't leave no more. And so what they do is. And this is going across Mexico now. It's been so popular that it's going across Mexico. And what happens is, let's say you open a place like that. You charge for this service, but then like 20% or 15% is donations, like a beca. What do you say that in English?
Like a scholarship.
Like a scholarship. And then they go look for these people. They're like, we're not going to give scholarships to some guy that has a family that can pay for this. They go look for, like, literally they pull people out of the drains, living underneath the drains, and then they show their whole history and kind of what you're describing, their recovery, and then they become part of the whole scenario. It's interesting because when you see it, the beginning is rough. I mean, the way you describe it,
they look.
Well, not just that, but they're like dragging them, like they're kidnapping them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so you see that video, and then you see the results. So, and you mentioned in the podcast, this is kind of the long way I get into this question, is how, like, the rehab here is like soft, right? Like that's what you needed. And we have a huge epidemic here. I mean,
one of the worst ones in the world.
And so to me, it's like, can that not be a solution? And our laws, I don't think allow it. But I think at least you need a law. It's not just somebody drags you there. You need some legal. A judge needs to, get involved for you to end up in a place like that here. But then you see these results, and it's like these people. There's not the government. The government's not involved.
No.
And I don't know the details. I don't know if there's like some bad stuff happening behind the scenes. As far as I know, I don't know, but I haven't looked that deep into it. I'm sure there's people that die there and stuff, but there's people that are dying every day on the streets because nobody's doing nothing anyways.
Right.
So
I'll share a little bit on that when you continue.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
If you would like me to, I'll share now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wasn't the most beloved at this place, obviously, but because. So I'm Mexican American. I grew up in America. The legal age in America is 18. Okay, right? That's your legal age, whatever, etc. In this rehab facility, once I was part of the women's area, which didn't take long, I think, like I said, Disciplina, I was the madrina of Disciplina, the sponsor of Disciplina for a couple years. And they're like, here, now you're in charge. Now you run everything. So I had to appoint some Disciplina, whatever. Wow. Okay. The guy that was in charge, shit, may he rest in peace, first of all. This man saved my life. But he had a thing where we have women coming in, after the rehab facility this year, after some time, and it looks like they weren't going to run and they were getting better, whatever, there was this other place called the Casa Hogar. So off campus, per se, it's not a campus, but somewhere else in El Longo was a little house. That one had more freedom. We would lock the doors at night, same, but it wasn't for the runners anymore. It was very small. Okay, so I was in charge of that area for a long time, Módulo Mujeres. Then I went to the Casa Hogar. This gentleman that was in charge of everything, he would allow for his padrinos. I'm not saying anything that they said in AA. This is just what I saw. He would allow the padrinos to choose some of these young ladies as their girlfriends, and they were fucking 13.
No,
I had my padrino. I would say that's not right. That's not right. That's fucking child abuse.
It is.
Not only that, I don't care if you're 40 or 50. You're in recovery. If discipline is discipline, that's why I was so hated. If discipline is discipline, also I was kind of a bitch, and we'll talk on that. We'll talk on that later. Yeah. My heart was cold as fuck, and I was a mean bitch, and I said it, and I have my regrets, but it is what it is. Okay. But that I wouldn't allow. The guys are over there, y'all look over there. The girls over here, y'all look over here. But there would be these most beautiful, most adorable, cute little cabbage, white with green eyes. Otra que la quería el patrón de los cartel, no sé qué. I don't know anything. But she was like, he wanted to kidnap her. These beautiful, And just because they were, so after the time passed, whatever.
So these young girls were in there for addiction as well?
Yes. Yeah, they were brought in by their families.
And they will be mixed with adults and...
And
There was no age.
yes, I'm so sorry. The youngest that has come in was a child, maybe, I can't remember the youngest. The one that I most remember was a 13-year-old that was absolutely drop dead gorgeous with like a woman body, but her little face was 13. She was 13-year-old. And one of the padrinos that was like in his 20s or something, he wanted her, you know? So my padrino was here and she was like my sister in apadrinamiento. He was also her padrino. And after time passed, I can't remember which one I was in, this rehab or this other one, but because I acted up over here. I acted up and they sent me back to the main rehab. Once I was in the main rehab, they just started letting all kinds of relationships cut loose.
No.
Because when I was in charge of the rehab that was off campus, basically, in El Hongo, I think it was, I wouldn't. No. Like, no. No. But then they put another madrina in charge. And I would be in disciplina again because I got fucking put in. They're like, I was going to run again, basically, like maybe 4 or 5 years in. I was like this again, and I would see everybody pass, everybody hippity hoppity, muy a gustos. But in my mind, I'm like, you guys are gonna, the karma is gonna be so fucking bad for you guys allowing this shit. Dicho y hecho, pasaron muchos años, and I don't even want to tell you guys what happened to this madrina. Two of her children were murdered.
Oh, wow.
And that is something that I don't absolutely fucking wish on anybody. But I knew that you don't allow that to happen. No. It's fucking karma. You have children, and you're gonna let some other padrino get with the 13-year-old that's under your supervision. I don't care if we're in Mexico, Europe, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No.
So, and when I heard news of her children, I fucking tore me up because her daughter was there too. I loved her too. I used to call her Lagartija Güera. May they rest in peace. But there are certain things that we're talking about omnipotencia that you can just see coming with experience.
So how long were you in there for?
I left
from start to finish. How many? It sounds like you were there for a long time.
I was there for a long time, over 7 years.
Did your mom ever come and visit at some point?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So there was that time where I was going to leave and she wanted to come visit, but I still was like, eh. So I think it was maybe a year or two before they allowed her to come see me.
So
I think after a year.
Did you have an opportunity to leave when you wanted after you recovered, or they had to fully know you were fully recovered? Like, how does that go?
Case in point, and I'll say it now: we are never recovered.
I mean,
but yes,
you know what I mean.
I want to only because this is I don't know where this is going to reach.
Yeah.
I am in recovery and always will be. Period.
Okay.
I will be a recovering alcoholic. And you just work on it. But when you feel like you're better and you can navigate life in this recovery journey, I was allowed to go. I could have left whenever I wanted to.
Right.
I decided to stay because my identity was gone. I was a fucking zombie when I got there. You could say Doris, and I would kind of turn around because it sounded familiar, but I didn't know who Doris was anymore.
Oh, man. So
all my happiness from my childhood, me skipping around in Hawaii when I was, I chose Hawaii instead of quinceañera. My parents wanted me to travel. ¿Quieres quinceañera? ¿Quieres un carrito viejo? Or ¿quieres Hawaii? Hawaii, okay. I think I chose a car, but we couldn't afford it. So they just we did Hawaii. So all of this, everything was gone. Like I was a shell of a person. And I wasn't even in addiction for that long, but that's how hard, I was gonna say that's how hard I hit it. That sounds so bad. That's how hard I went into, that's how hard, that's how deep I went in. I was drinking to completely lose my identity and I did it. I accomplished that. So I stayed because I had to remember who I was again. I stayed because I knew that if I went outside, I would put myself in scenarios. I would put my body back in San Jose and I would be like, fuck, they're probably still out to get me. I pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh shit. And karma, everybody that I hurt, in my family, everything, the lies that I told, this theft, everything that happened, you're sober, there's no barrier. You can only rely on God when you finally find Him.
Oof, amen to that.
So I found God and I had to find my will. And I knew that I was not going to be safe for myself or anybody else in society. So after maybe 3 or 4 years, I stayed for my own. And again, I was hard. I was mean.
So you did have the option to leave,
yes.
but you
could have.
I could have.
So is there a minimum period, like?
Yeah, that's the.
I do believe so. I believe the minimum is like 6 months or so.
Yeah,
6 months to a year.
Right.
And after a year, they're good to go.
Right.
But then you see somebody like me where I'm inquisitive and I see everything, blah, 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 and they knew that I could help. And my padrino knew that not only could I help, but that I could grow.
Oh.
Right.
So he saw that. They saw that potential in me. That's why I don't talk dirty about this gentleman that passed away. That man that allowed all that stuff with the teens and it wasn't like rape or nothing. No, it was like she consented, he consented, whatever.
Yeah.
But she was 13.
Yeah.
Then the other one was like 15 or 16.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
that,
just a 13-year-old, that's too.
Okay. But I'm saying, it wasn't forced. Even her family allowed it. So they would come visit and be like, oh, mijo, to the padrino, so. Right. Again, what is said in AA will stay in AA. And I will never speak on what they said, but I'm not going to stop on what I saw that was wrong. That cannot happen. Okay.
How,
I forgot what your point was.
No. How was it seeing your mom for the first time when she visited you? How was that?
That was awesome. She was she was like, it's for your own good, right? It's for your own good. I think my mom came with my sister.
What was the time frame?
I want to say it was it must have been about a year. Yeah.
The first time?
I believe so.
And
it was
no
a really
call,
long time.
no letters, nothing?
No, there's no internet. We were in the middle of nowhere. There's no running water. There's no electricity. There was no internet. I didn't have
How
a
did she
cell
get
phone until
updates on
years
you?
later.
How did she get updates?
They would rely on that padrino that was in charge.
Oh, okay, got you.
So yeah, this rehab, this rehab facility was it was suggested by AA groups that I had joined here in San Jose. So they had come from those. So that's how I got the ride into Mexico because the madrina in charge here in San Jose, my mom was there and I was just sitting in the back thinking that we're going to drop off supplies in Mexico.
Gotcha.
That's where that connection was. So it was already a trusted facility in their eyes. And that's why my mom trusted to leave me there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was wondering.
So when I saw them, it was not... I wasn't mad at her. It is what it is.
No, I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure you were a lot different now at this point when she dropped you off. You know what I'm saying?
That was funny. I still laugh sometimes. Like, ooh.
Like for me, when I finally came to the end of mine, I tried to take my life, right? And I told my wife, and we're like, all right, I had finally confessed to her all the things that had been going on with me. I remember when we told the doctor, I was like, man, I got to check into a rehab. And he's all, I'm sorry, but it's 2020. Nobody's allowing anybody in any facility right now. You have to go home. You have to remove all the drugs, alcohol from your house. Do I tell you, my wife lived with the devil for 6 months. Like cleaning up. We kicked the kids out the house. Obviously, we're still not, you're always going to be in recovery mode, right? But a lot of times, like for me, my question for you was, we always feel, the battle for me is the way I feel and the way I'm up here, right? Like I kind of put that as the good wolf and the bad wolf, right? Your body's always going to ask for something. And it's this up here between your ears that has to control what this body's feeling, right? At what point, like during your rehab, during that time, did you ever discover that? Like where you because it sounds, and what I see from you is that you're very strong-minded, right? You're very strong-minded for a woman, and I love that about you. Did you ever comprehend that, or did that ever become aware to you? Like, I have to be strong here to control what this wants.
Okay, thank you. I understand.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand that, and I'll interview you after this because I want to hear your story. It's good. Okay. Okay, so we feel like we're going crazy with the booze.
Right.
We feel like we're going crazy without the booze. The only thing that I can find was when it calmed down when I realized that there was a higher power and he was looking out for me. Okay. So I had to find God. Now in AA, they say choose a higher power. And for them, it could be Buddha. It can be the sun if you're not religious. You just choose a higher power. A power. And because that ties into the omnipotence that I was talking about. You have something greater than you. So when I was in rehab, we would go through the meetings and I would listen to everybody and it was fucking torture. Because in the meetings, they're all talking about, I did this and I was a victim. Yes. Again, I can't say what they said.
Mine was online.
Oh,
mine was online, dude. So I was going bananas, bro.
You're just like, okay. So I would hear their stories and it would go into me. And then I think it came with the realization where it was like, you know what? I think God saved me. So that it all ties into God. It's all God. Everything is God. I had to do so many steps, written, books, meetings, when it hit me that everything is God. So even whatever was in my mind, it's like, I'm not I have to control this because God saved me. And that's how I think now still, always. That's why I'm here. It's because we were saved. So that battle in our mind, we can hit rock bottom many times, but until you hit that one rock bottom that you feel, it's like I either died or I didn't. I either died or I didn't. And wow, I'm not dead. So I was saved for a reason. That's where the mentality has to change. That is what has to fill that space of all the loud chattering. I was saved for a reason. Calm your ass down. I'm always going to be crazy. I'm a crazy bitch. Huh? I get road rage all the time. I have weapons in my purse. They're legal. I will stab.
Yeah, I'm with you, girl.
Some dude tried to get fresh in Long Beach.
Yeah.
He got crazy. I sprayed him. I sprayed him in the mouth too. Fuck you. No. Okay. So, okay.
Let's go, girl.
Okay. Así de calladita.
Hey.
Okay. And there's other times where I've been completely stupid and chosen very bad boyfriends, etc. Okay.
Right.
But that's where you find your safety, but anything that's crazy too much, you just fill it with this. You fill it with God. You fill it with purpose. And then something that I was reading or listening to in the 4 Agreements on the way over here for this week, because I was prepping for the podcast, how to open up my mind, spirit of everything, was you have to feel, black magic and white magic, the positive words that are going to, speak. Yeah, the white magic that's going to be white words over the black words that's going to cause pain and cancer, etc.
Gotcha.
Okay, so those thoughts are okay to have, but I leave them to God. And I always say, I am a crazy bitch, yeah. Tupac said he was crazy too. He is borderline genius. Okay, I'm probably ADHD. Ya que? I'm not going to take pastillas.
No,
I'm not going to take pastillas. It is what it is. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I treat the arthritis. Anything else, I just feel like it's a gift from God. I've been on antidepressants before. I've been on anti-anxiety medications before, apart from other drugs, trying to battle this alcoholism and anxiety. All it did was make me numb. And that's not for everybody. This is me.
Right.
No, cada quien lo suyo. But it made me numb. It made like part of my brain forget another piece of who Doris actually is. Like there's a portion that was gone with these medications.
The stuff they were giving me, it was like when I was, I never, like, when I went through it, like, having to deal with these memories and the thoughts and the feelings and the way my body felt without any alcohol or any drugs, like, I was going crazy. Then they started giving me these drugs, and I'm like, dude, I felt like a zombie. I felt like my brain was just stopped. Right? I was like, dude, I can't.
Because it's just numbing you.
I gotta figure this out, and then I really turned to God, man. I just started reading the Bible. My sister started praying over me, and then I just figured out, man, it's all here, bro. Right? Like, I kept living in the moment as a kid of what happened to me. And it was like a loop, and all it would do was just make me angry. And then, and I just got to the point where, like, Look at how you're living now, bro. God's blessed you. You're a successful businessman. You got a beautiful wife. You got beautiful kids. And I started so when every time the bad loop would come in, I would start replacing it with a positive loop. Don't get me wrong. I don't got it down 100%. It's still a battle, but it's still something I have to tell myself. Hey, bro. Hey, whenever that bad thought comes in, you got to replace it really quick and just tell God, thank you, man. And then it's just, it's a revolving fight every day, right? And I commend you for that, because it's not easy. And I tell people all the time, it's really not easy. Some people I get approached all the time, like, man, you make it look so easy. I'm like, man, you have no idea the battle. Like, there's times I wake up in the morning, and before my day starts, I get on my knees real quick, and I just tell them thank you for one more day, right? And then I move on, and then the battle starts, right? And then I have this saying with the good wolf and the bad wolf that I read every day before I leave, like, who's going to win today? The good wolf or the bad wolf? And it's the one you choose, because I have the power to choose who's going to win today. And there's a lot of times I win, there's some times that I lose, right? You know what I mean?
Sometimes I take a shower and I go back to bed. I'm in pain sometimes. You deserve rest sometimes too. I understand that though. And if I can take it a little bit further, things that I've been, I'm in my car, and God, if I hear Tool or certain music that I heard from back in the day, there's flashbacks
Like that.
I have flashbacks of everything that had happened. There's faces, and this is all in the addiction, and then it's rehab, and then it's everybody that's died because they relapsed.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going through my mind almost every day. And then they ask why I'm quiet. I generally mind my business.
Yeah.
Ya que tengo confianza, I'll open up. Wonderful. It's a gift of gab now because I'm not going to hold this back anymore.
Right.
I held back for too long. But to the point, I'm sorry. What I was reflecting on is spiritual warfare. Okay.
Oof.
So I feel deep thoughts. Okay. Alcoholism, it's like we're giving into that spiritual warfare. Okay. So las pastillas for anxiety.
Yeah.
They're numbing our brain. Okay.
Right.
So I just feel the world has gone to shit. I don't know what's happening, but it's been like that for a long time.
Yeah.
Like we're getting numbed. TV. I went to the pharmacy to pick up something for the pain the doctor gave me. And I looked everywhere and I was like, look at all this shit and fucking numb everybody. Yeah. And I was bummed out because I couldn't move these fingers on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Oh, no.
I couldn't bend them. And then today I was having issues with this one. So I had to get a prescription apart from my weekly injections. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then I looked around and I was like, it looks like we're being numbed completely. Yeah. But it's part, I think, of this battle, the spiritual warfare, where it's going to be, good, bad versus evil, etc. And again, we're here now because I feel like with alcoholism, if we get the message out there, people listen to this, they see that you're a successful business owner understands, okay, and I'm getting up there. I'm starting my business last year. But I'm very grateful to be sober. People see that we can spread that message and be on this side of the spiritual warfare. So again, that battle.
Don't you think that to that point, sorry to cut you off, some of the numbing is people wanting the comfort and seeking that comfort and not being okay with the pain because I think that's why it's important that you got stories that you share this because it's so powerful. Because if you go through life thinking that every moment is gonna be just roses and
butterflies, and rainbows, that's not how life is, right? And I think, not to put words in his mouth, but seeing it from him, like I saw, I got to see Danny through this transformation. I've known Danny for 20 years or something like that. And he went from like chasing this perfect something, at least from my point of view, to he's constantly, he says he's grateful and I know him. I see him when the cameras are not on, where, I'm in places, where nobody's around and I see how he acts. The small things is what I notice. Because you can say that you're grateful all day long, but, your actions is what really shows you. And I think that is one of the things that people are not okay with pain, not just... there's emotional pain, there's physical pain, and not all of it needs to be fixed. There's some pain you got to live through. When a loved one dies, you shouldn't numb that. You should feel that pain. Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think it's very important. And your story about going through this drugstore and seeing all this numbing, it is crazy because everybody's looking for, how do I feel better? This is a numbing thing too. Like, right? You want to numb yourself and you're looking at this thing. So. But at what point did you tell yourself, okay, I've dealt with this pain, I can control it now, I found God? What was the moment and time that you're like, I'm ready to leave this place?
7.5 years later, people were still coming and going. Not hundreds, thousands of women passed through those facilities. And I realized, okay, at this point now I'm just hiding because I'm avoiding. I am now avoiding.
That's what I was thinking when you were saying your story earlier.
Okay. Because reality is it was never diagnosed partial amnesia, but it was for many years, I didn't know who I was. So for many years it was that. Then it was growth. When I finally decided, I think is when I worked through the steps of AA, because I was doing 1, 2, 3, el cuarto. I think I got stuck on like the 5th or 6th. Yeah, I me quedé. But once I hit one of the steps and I realized that I had a power to be something great, that's when I decided that I was done and I should go. That was like 7.5 years into the treatments. Yeah, I don't know People have stayed longer.
You
than
burned the
me.
ships.
I burned your ships. Thank you. You know what? That's true. Well, how do you burn the ships, Daddy?
It's time to go. You
It
know?
was
It's
time to go, yeah, because I realized that I could do something better. And
Let's go, Doris.
Thank
Let's
you.
go, girl.
I would put myself in those scenarios again. You leave rehab and it's just like, don't go back to the same places. Don't go back to the same people. So obviously downtown San Jose, it was Tunes, Tres Gringos, all of San Jose Bar and Grill, all of those. They knew me. I would just go in a loop with my fake ID. I was there like every other day.
Yeah.
And then I obviously would visit those places, but I would put myself in my mind again in the grocery store, in my home, facing my family. And I thought, it's time. It's time. I can't stay here forever. It's time.
Right.
So I don't feel like I overstayed. I think it was just perfect timing.
Yeah.
Why? Because every day we would get up early. So almost every day I would see the sunrise and something new would hit me. That was so many years ago. I'm not going to lie. I'll drive. That's why I take so many road trips and I'll open the window. I'll drive in silence until I hit the 5, I think. I don't know where mine. Because I'm reliving the memories that I don't give myself the opportunity to do while I'm working 40 hours a week on my job. Outside of my job, I'm doing bourgeois media. Outside of that, I'm doing networking. Outside of that, I'm working on my clients' Instagram, socials. Outside of all of that. So yes, I go for networking and it's a legitimate tax write-off.
Yeah.
It's legitimate mileage and everything.
Right.
But I'm meditating for hours.
Man.
Why are you all the way over here, Doris? People don't understand. And I'm not, why do I have to make you understand?
Yeah. Hell no. Hell no.
I'm in silence for hours.
So
remembering things that I still hit me like flashbacks.
Yeah. I see. You just said it in a way that I can't, it's hard for me to explain it to some people. Right. And it's hard for me to explain it to my wife sometimes. Right. Would you agree that being bored or not doing anything is very bad for you? Because for me, like a lot of people are like, man, why are you always moving? Because for me, my worst enemy is not doing anything.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm very like my impulses will start to act up. Like, let's do that. Let's get into this. So for me, it's like I have to stay busy. I have to have some responsibility, some accountability. Because if I don't, that's when I'm in the middle of not doing anything, or if I don't have something to do, my impulses right away will start. Hey, well, let's get into something, bro. Let's jump. And then sometimes I'll catch myself at a bar, like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing here? Get your ass out and go get back to work, right? And then I make that quick U-turn, right? Do you think that no responsibility for people who are going through or who are still in addiction, who are addicts is a bad thing? Like for me, driving is a great thing sometimes, right? Because like you, there's sometimes I just turn everything off and I start to meditate. I start to just go down my things of being grateful for. I have my conversation with God, right? I tell him thank you for everything you've blessed me with, for all the opportunities that are coming, and continue to bless me so I can bless people around me, I relate to that so much though, just meditating while you're driving. But do you think that not doing anything is a detriment to people who are addicts?
Crap. I think that's the same question as, do you like red or do you like blue? So to you have to move. You're very different than me. You have a whole ass responsibility of having your wife and your children, and they're looking up to you. It's a different pressure than mine.
Right.
You give me some time and I'm like, oh, yay. I'm going to walk around Namadan Park. So not that I'm saying that yours is, but my mind isn't necessarily my enemy anymore. I just want to listen to it sometimes, because when I give myself the time to be quiet at this state, when I give myself to be quiet, the Lord gives me more ideas. Then there is madness still sometimes. And it's not just booze or whatever, because soy corajuda. I can get pissed. Yeah. And people, I would get stepped on, narcissistic boyfriends, being too kind, they're getting stepped on. Yeah. And in my mind, I can easily do revenge. And I can do revenge where nobody even knew it was fucking. I could. That's in my mind every day. Yeah. Right. And then I have to think, something that I heard today in the 4 agreements is, I learned something new every single time. I'm like on the 3rd or 4th with this book. Forgiveness is love for yourself, not love for them. If you truly love yourself, you're going to heal that wound, and you'll know that you're healed like if they say their name or they show up, there will be just animosity. Your blood won't boil. My blood will boil. I mean, I can destroy. I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah,
But I can like.
It's switch.
I know I know where to go, and I could. I know a lot about a lot of people, and I can destroy reputations. Gente que, and I think the questionnaire that I filled out that he put, it's like, what lessons, the hardest lessons that you learn? You don't trust people just because they smile at you and they think that they're your friends. You don't trust them at all. They have to earn your trust. And I can smile and play along, but the way that you talk about other people, the way that you treat other people, and then we talk. Instagram is one thing, but behind the scenes, there's
another thing.
This is how they treated my videographer. This is how they treated my blah, blah, blah. I saw them talk about this. I was changed this, but I was buddies with the lady that we went and she shared her hotel room or whatever. She just started talking smack about a bunch of people. I was just sitting there. So I was like, is there an off switch on this woman? And then months after that, I stopped being her friend because she said something snobby or whatever. So I just stopped associating myself with her. I saw pictures with her and other people all over Instagram. I love you. We're the bestest of friends. I was like, dude, if I told that woman what you said about her, how fat she is, how disgusting when she sat down, her panzota pa fuera, that's what she was saying. And I was like this. I didn't invite this type of speech at any moment. Not that I'm a palomita blanca, but I was like vibing, and I'm not going to say where I was because then I'll give it away who it was. But things like that is where you kind of notice. Yeah. It's how you learn how to trust certain people.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think I answered your question.
No, you're good.
That's the difference, right? I tell my kids is like, understand the difference between reputation and integrity.
Okay.
Right? Like reputation is what people think of you and the persona you want people to create. Everybody can have a good reputation and be a piece of shit behind the scenes.
Oh, I know a lot of them.
Right.
A lot of them.
And so it's like, don't worry that much about reputation. Worry more about who you really are. And the reputation comes with it, right?
And those that are closest to you can vouch for you. And those that don't vouch for you, well, they're not meant to be with you anyways.
Right. Amen.
And what we were talking about was red and blue. Yeah. What was your question? I want to answer.
Oh, the question is, he was saying if you think it was hard for addicts to stay still.
Okay. It's very dangerous to stay still at the beginning stages of addiction. It is basically keeping moving. And then if you're going to stop and meditate, it does have to be within, how shall I say, within that environment. But you do have to stay busy. Journaling helped a lot. Journaling. Yeah. You had to get all the vomito out.
Oh, man, that hurt me, though.
You have to let it out. And I stopped doing that. And I think the arthritis, I think it's because it's just too much going on.
Yeah.
Is the arthritis from your addiction, or is it just something?
My dad. Rheumatoid arthritis. So I was diagnosed, I think, about 35, 36. My dad had it. My uncles, my aunts, my dad's side, my mom's side has asthma, etc. He passed at 49. He had the rheumatoid arthritis, and he would smoke, a lot of stress. His heart gave out. And after that, I think a year after his passing is when I ended up going to rehab because there was just nothing.
It was heavy on you.
I was done. I was completely done.
And you were there for that.
How old were you then when he passed?
For that. That was in 2004. I graduated high school in 2018. In 2000, I was 18. So if that happened in 2004, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah. These 11 years, 22 years old. 22 years old.
Still baby, man.
So something that I wanted to say, and I was like, shit, I don't want to say it. But during that time that I was in the addiction and after my father passed, since he was there in front of me and I couldn't save him, I felt guilty for so many years. Doctors had to tell me, the priest had to tell me, heart attack is a heart attack. You try to do CPR, you call the ambulance, but a heart attack is a heart attack, and I'm not a doctor. Yeah. So I had to forgive myself, not only for that, but for not loving him for all of those years prior to his death. Okay. I got to forgive myself for a lot of things. After that happened, I started with suicide attempts. And I asked God to guide me today because I don't want to talk about it. I told you, there's something about business, bourgeois media. There's this lifestyle on Instagram and the aesthetics and everything pretty. And I would love to be one of those influencers that put on pretty dresses and twirl around the rose garden and gets thousands of likes and paid sponsorship. I would love to do that.
Right.
Fact of the matter is, God gave me this mission. Okay.
That's right.
So on my way over here, I was like, I don't want to say so, but there were suicide attempts after he passed. Yeah. I would grab a knife and just fucking go at it. Wow. Thing is, if you really want to die, not that I'm giving anybody advice, you really want to die, you're just going to go like this. Yeah. So I was like, ow, ow. So just blood everywhere because I was so confused. And I I didn't know if I was still alive at that point. I had gone completely numb, pills and booze, numb. This was after his passing. I ended up at the mental hospital, maybe 2 or 3 times for suicide attempts. And I was remembering last week, God, when I was inside one of the mental hospitals, one of the nurses that was there, he was like, "Oh, you're pretty." And I was like, "Okay, thanks." And then I walked away.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I thought, you're telling me that I'm pretty, okay, whatever. But how many of those females that are in there that are actually cuckoo, you know? Like, I'm sorry, I was cuckoo too, but I'm saying that we're not in the right mind. I looked at him and I saw predator.
Right.
How are you going to tell somebody that's in here with fucking bandages around her wrist that she's pretty?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that have anything to do with the mental institution? So I was like, no, hell no. I'm saying no in South Australia. And they would let me out and I just went back to the booze again.
Yeah.
One of those, I had left drinking, and when I got home after my dad passed, my brother wouldn't let me into the house. "You're not coming in until you're sober up, sleep outside." I said, "No, fuck that." I broke the window to my room to get into the house, and when the glass fell, they were like, blah, blah, blah. I jumped in through the window. There was shard and glass everywhere. And that was another one of my suicide attempts. I want to say it was one of the last ones where I grabbed the glass and I just fucking went for it. And I can't remember if it was that comment from that time where I was like, I don't want to go back to these messages. Because to me, I was looking for help. Who's going to help me? Who's going to help me? That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
If you want to die, may Kurt Cobain rest in peace. I think he was murdered, but whatever. You're gonna die if you want to. Not that I want that for anybody. When there's suicide attempts, they're just looking for help. Yeah. I knew somebody that would do it for attention.
It's the biggest cry for help.
It is. You're looking for help. Yeah. And what pisses me off is that nobody around me could help me. In Spanish, it's called focos de infección. I can say about all these pretty things about addiction, being in sobriety now. In the moment, we're a fucking infection. Okay. We hurt everybody around us.
Yes.
Okay. They see you suffer, they suffer.
Yeah.
So a heart attack at 49 is not normal.
Right.
And I forgive myself, but it's not normal. Right. And that's how I saw him go.
Yeah.
In my mind, I can't do that again.
No. Right.
That's where it stops me. It's like,
no, you're okay.
If it's booze, it's death.
Yeah. Right.
And it's not just for me, it's for anybody around me.
Absolutely. Man, you are a strong woman. Strong woman, man. And that's why though, Doris, like what you're doing now, when I see you, I see passion. Mm-hmm. I see someone like, I relate to you a lot because whether it's a different story, but we're still coming from the same passion, and it's a lot more to us now. It means a lot.
I try to though, because on my daily, it's a lot of exhaustion. And that's why I'm so grateful that you guys invited me to the podcast. This is not easy. We work so much, you forget who you are. And this is an opportunity to speak up a little. And it's not like, oh, poor thing. It's an opportunity to speak up. And hopefully people get this message. Because in my mind, I see those that couldn't, damn it. They left and then they fell into the addiction again. And then they passed. And I was getting messages. I would get messages on my Facebook all the time. Dang, Doris, such and such passed. And I was like, damn it. But it's certain ways that, it's omnipotencia. That's the biggest thing. They feel that they're better than God. They want to play with bad people. They want to get mixed up with dirty things. You can't do these bad things and not expect to get caught up and then destroyed.
Exactly.
So
I tell everybody, nothing good happens at night, man. Nothing good. I tell my kids, I know you guys want to go out and have fun, but make sure you're somewhere safe. Don't just drink anything, right? Keep your drink with you. But where we come from, a lot of people don't understand that just because we got to this side doesn't mean we're fully out of it. We're still battling. We're still fighting. Every day. Like for me, every day is a challenge. So that's why like I push myself to stay busy with something. Because if I don't stay busy, my worst enemy is being alone for too long.
Thank you. So keeping on the move, keeping busy. I like that though, because though you're building with a purpose.
Yes.
When it's time for you to calm down, that you've done something though. Yeah. You know that you have built something. Yeah. And that will in turn bring you peace of mind, and hopefully you can find those calm moments within that time frame.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's very different. Again, you have your wife and your kids, and I'm like, I'm just a loner.
No, man.
I just like to be by myself. Like
so let's, man, I want to give you your flowers. I really want to give you your flowers, Doris, because, what you experienced and what you went through, a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people don't survive it. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't get to the other side of the rainbow. right? Even though, I mean, we're still getting there, it's not very easy for us. So I want to give you your flowers for getting to the other side and doing what you're doing now,
Thank
right?
you.
So when you introduce yourself to people now,
Yeah.
who are they meeting, right? Who
Yeah.
is the Doris right now? Who is that beautiful woman that they're meeting? How do you introduce yourself?
That's funny because it's very quiet. You introduce, hi, Angel, so nice to meet you. And then
Yeah.
I don't think we exchange more than a couple of words.
Right.
And I think in person, very quiet.
Right.
But if I have to present myself now, this is a tough one. Because it goes from being really quiet in person to you're asking me now how I would present myself. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm a spiritual warrior. I think I'm one of God's, God put me on a mission. What is it called? We're warriors. We are warriors because you guys are on this and I've seen your guys' work. You're sharing a certain message. And it's okay to, how shall I say, have different idealizations, have different points of view. It's okay to all that, as long as the purpose is to do something good or share a good message, right?
You got it.
So I feel like God saved me for a purpose. And that's, if I have to say it, that's what it is. I'm here on a mission. I feel like I'm now here on a mission. And I can't do it so much like in person. Like I'm nobody's madrina anymore. I don't sponsor people anymore. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. It's really heavy work.
Yeah.
But after the podcast and when I went on Jonathan's podcast, I was flooded with DMs of people telling me very private things. And it hit me that I needed to keep going. This was back in 2024.
100%.
And again, to me, I was like, this is embarrassing, because I'm building a business, Bourgeon Media.
Yeah.
But then you got this lady in a black dress talking about she was cutting her wrist back in 2005 or 2006. You know?
Yeah,
So
but you're being real.
it's that line. It's that line where it's like, again, I would love to be a twirly little influencer in the Rose Garden and Disneyland and shit, but that's not my calling.
No.
That's the word I was looking for. It's a calling. And if we go even further, because I'm rather spiritual, I feel like God gives each one of us a purpose.
Absolutely.
I almost feel like maybe when we're in heaven, he's just like, okay, I'm going to send you on this mission, but I'm going to erase your memory. And you're going to have to find your life's purpose. And when you find it, you're going to have to share it.
Wow.
So that's how I see it, because I died. I had overdoses and I almost died a couple. I was in emergency room again. So I have these I have strange, really vivid dreams. So when I was a little girl, I felt like I was here before. I felt like my families were strangers. I would ask myself what the meaning of life was. I was less than 10 years old. So I've had these very vivid dreams and spiritual connections since I was a child. Very empathetic. I could feel the emotions. You see under eye, you see somebody say, I can see it. I sense it and I feel it. So what I've been working on is blocking those energies from getting to me because I get exhausted. I think it's called an empath. Okay. And then, and that's, I feel like several years ago when I got into the business game, people were not so direct with me, whatever. I had fallouts with a lot of people. I had to see, like, that's where it was like, okay, whoever smiles at you, they're not all your friends. So that impact, I had to build really strong barriers.
Yeah.
And anybody that you ask out now, any haters that I have, whatever, they can say that I'm a bitch and they're probably right because I cut them off and I maybe did some bitchy things. But it's like, what did you do to me first? So now I just keep it calm and I'm trying to practice forgiveness. Not for me, not for them. Dios te bendiga, pero stay away from me.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
And people ask me, why don't you with that? Nothing. Oh yeah, we had a fallout. I don't talk to them no more. That's fine. I don't go around gossiping about tax offices that I left, people that I left. This lady that was talking back about her friends. I don't tell nobody about it except for I have a very small clique. Because it's black magic words against white magic words.
Right.
So it's like. So we'll share this information. You tell me who was mean to your videographer so I don't mess with. In my mind, if somebody told me that they were rude, disrespectful, blah, 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 racist, sexist, whatever, I got a lot of information all the time behind the scenes and nobody knows. And I'm like, okay, because they know that I'll stand up for people, So yeah, I think I went off topic.
No,
you're great.
I feel like we're all on a purpose.
So, man, speaking about that, all right, so you, just really quick, when you left and you got out of the rehab and you got here, how did you approach the back to the real world? Like, did you like for me, just like, I told myself, all right, man, all right, this happened. Like, to me, it was like, there's this all happened the way it happened for a reason, right? And I forgot what book it was, but it's the guy said, to start a new life, you have to understand, like, okay, you wake up today and you have the decision to pursue a new life for yourself. Yesterday's gone, is dead. That version of you is gone. You can create yourself right now. Every day you can recreate yourself, who you want to be, how you want to be, how you talk, how you carry yourself, your beliefs and everything. For me, when I started getting to like where I started to really understand, like, okay, it all ends and starts right here. I started to look at everything different. The way I talk to people, right? I started to be just more aware of everything, right? I wanted to make people feel good, right? So, but before I did that, I have to treat myself good. I have to talk to myself good. Because if the way I used to talk to myself, if I talked like that to people, I wouldn't have any friends. You know what I'm saying? Like no, I would have no friends. Nobody would want to be around me. My kids wouldn't want to be my kids, right? How did you approach life, right? Did you have just your friends, work, right? Your new career, your mom, your family?
Jeez. Okay, when I got back, all I had in my mind, because I felt like I was this big, I had like nothing. I came back and it's like, damn, I disappeared.
Right.
And there were no friends left.
You were a mustard seed now.
I was this tiny little thing. Thank God they let me pass the border back in.
That's right. You were gone even for the country for a decade, basically.
I was gone for a long time. And when we passed through, my mom had brought my birth certificate, I think a very old ID back when I was like in college or whatever. And my birth certificate and the Social Security card. And then I brought proof from my padrinos, madrinas, everybody, my sponsors, where I was all these years. Certificates of participation, the madrina, all this stuff. So I had my little thing with me. And we approached the border. And she let me through. She's like, she said, you're too beautiful to go back to alcoholism. I wish you the best. God bless. Get out of here. So I crossed the border like that. No, thank you. I started crying. Coming back, I got to, Grandma had already passed. Many people passed when I was in rehab. I got to, Grandma's, I think it was Grandma's, one of my uncle's house, and everybody was there, and I was just shaking. I didn't know how to use a fork and the spoon and the knife. I looked at things, and not that I didn't use them in Mexico, but in like a setting where everybody was there and they were kind of looking at me because I was gone for almost 8 years.
You were the spotlight.
I was the spotlight, and I was shaking. And one of my cousin's wife, she reached over and she moved one of the utensils for me, and I was like, okay. So I had to snap out of it because it's like trauma all over again. I was shaking. Everybody was looking at me. Yeah. And then that was in LA. We drove back to San Jose, and I had to start from the beginning. There were no friends left. There was just the family, and a lot of them didn't even want to see me. It took some time to see. I didn't know if my own family in my own house had forgiven me. I hadn't seen my brother in so many years. One of them was still in prison, and then the other one was at home, and he never wrote to me. It was over 7 years. I thought he still hated me. So when I got home, I was shaking too. I was like, I think he still hates me. But he was like, hey, welcome back. I was like, okay, this motherfucker just didn't want to write to me for 7 years. Hombres, okay. And then it was fine, to each their own. But I started over. I got a job cleaning houses.
Okay.
With my aunt, got a job cleaning houses. Terminaba. I would go to the sobandero. My back was like, because cleaning houses.
That's hard work.
Oh, wow.
Bro, I know.
That's such
I was
hard
in
work.
my 30s, and arthritis wasn't even there. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Templada. Like just everything to the point.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity, but damn. And then after that, I think a little job with the thrift store near a church. And then little by little, I think it was like Subway, Frederick's of Hollywood. And then I just got into retail management. So I had to build myself all the way up. But it was, the only thing that I had that was power in my mind was, you are madrina Doris. That's what I would tell myself when I was back in the States. When I feel like people would look at me up and down, I had gained weight. It was arroz y frijoles and whatever else we could eat, but I got chunky. Yeah. As much bread as I could eat, I got weight, So it's like, you're madrina Doris, you're supposed to be here. You are madrina Doris, you're supposed to be here. So in my mind, I would have to remind myself of my basically strength. You're strong, you can do this, you're madrina Doris, okay. Right. So that actually took me through for about a year until I started regaining my identity again in the United States. Because I got back and it was like, I forgot English too. What the hell? I learned a little bit of Spanish, and I got made fun of in Mexico because of my choppy Spanish. Then I got back to the United States and it was all English, and I was choppy English. Yeah. So nobody made fun of me, but it was, I get mad when I can't do something. Yeah. So I still sometimes.
So you were more mad at yourself.
I was mad at myself. Yeah. Until I had to learn and pronunciate everything all over again. So I worked my way all the way up to whatever. Yeah. So I've been in retail management for a really, really long time. But through that, it's audits, hiring, firing, but everything human resources. I do
You done it all.
fun stuff. And then I wanted to start my own business. I want to be a business owner. I saw something on Instagram. That's why I know the power of media on Instagram.
Okay.
I saw an ad that said, I'm at the gas station. I'm filling up this car and I'm going to write this off. Do you want to learn how to write this off? He said like that to the camera. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, we can teach you taxes, blah, blah, blah. I saw that literally on my Instagram feed. From there, I started DMing, blah, blah, blah. And that's how I got into the tax world. Yeah.
wow.
I took a tax class with my bonus for my W-2 job. And then, just things happened. I just
So until that moment, you didn't have any inspiration to be in tax world?
No, not at all.
That's crazy.
No, what I knew is I needed to be a business owner. What I knew is that I was better than just, I hate saying that. I was better than a W-2 job. I knew that I was meant for more than just being in the payroll for somebody.
Girl. Let's go, girl.
So that's where I started getting into taxes.
Okay.
And I did that since 2022, so about 4 years. This year I've opted out. I'm still licensed, bonded, insured, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I can't take the stress anymore. It's I'm not an investigative. You have everything ready, give it to me, let's do your taxes. I'm not trying to ask a bunch of questions.
Yeah, got you.
I need more documents. No.
Right.
So I don't like I love fixing things, making things beautiful, having them ready, helping people with that. But while I was in this industry, going to all these conferences, this was powerful. Doing taxes is powerful. Right. Kudos to everybody that can handle that. Okay, but media was fun and powerful. I enjoyed this. I enjoy watching. I enjoy helping businesses grow. I brought you guys pan dulce, the intention. You guys get something sweet. I'm going to promote that business. In turn, he's a humble, amazing working man. He's going to promote your business. We're going to promote my business. And your audience is going to see him. His audience is going to see you.
Right.
All the
And
way
we
around.
all work together. Real quick, can you tell the camera who he is? The pan dulce?
Oh, yes.
Their
I bought
company?
pan dulce at Panapolis off of Hamilton Expressway from Aldo. Very amazing family. Him and his lovely wife, his children, very inviting, very humble beginnings. And it is their second location in San Jose, apart from the truck. So I met him on Monterey Road in front of Target in his truck. Hola, chula, pásale, al pan dulce. I'm like, it's like a treat. I grabbed a basket. It was so exciting. I was like, yes, took some pictures. This man, un local, y ya a couple years later, el otro local.
That's awesome.
Right on.
So,
dude.
but for years, I built businesses. I'm on Google. I have over 2.9 million views on Google Maps with my reviews of pictures of restaurants and
Get outta
businesses.
here.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
a local
go.
guide. We were at a restaurant.
Let's
my sister was like,
go.
"Let me Google this restaurant." Mine was the first name that popped up with my review
Get
and my
outta here.
pictures.
Wow.
And I don't get paid for that. I don't. Somebody told me, "Be a food influencer, this and that." I don't mind.
You
I
get
wouldn't.
paid through karma.
I get paid through karma, thank God. Yeah, and very good connections.
Like connections.
They're like, how do you know such and such? I'm like, shit, I don't know, but it's just connections.
That's what I was telling. I was like, this lady knows everybody, bro.
Because I truly,
Yeah.
this hard heart, and I was so mean in rehab. And my karma came back, and my Lord will humble me.
Yeah.
Not no man, not no woman.
Ooh,
Like,
let me
but
tell you.
my Lord will humble me. Like,
Let
you're in the
me
hospital
tell you.
now.
Yes,
Didn't I
ma'am.
tell you to obey?
Yes,
I was like,
ma'am.
I'm going to obey.
Yeah.
I try not to die in December. I had some issues with my throat. I was in the ER December and
wow.
January. So I was reminded again, you get knocked under. I just wanted to say hi to my mom. I wanted to hear her voice, and I got knocked under. When I woke up, I started crying. I was like, Lord, I'll be obedient. I don't want to keep dying like this. I will be obedient. So when you guys send me the link to the part like this, I went to another panaderia. I sat outside and I started filling out the questionnaire. And I told Angel, I said, if you need any more info, let me know. Email me, call me, whatever. But I need to set this date now.
Yeah.
And I almost chickened out yesterday.
You did, really?
Well, it's because it's
Yeah.
well, I don't know where this is going. And now there's images of me like, Doris was cutting her wrist after her.
No,
Again,
man.
but it's like, it's hard, you know, but it's more important the calling than the business.
Yes, absolutely.
I want to save my soul.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if
And save other souls along the way.
it's this eternity we're talking about.
Yeah.
So if I can save mine by helping others,
That's right.
hallelujah.
Does it get any easier as you tell your story more?
I think so. I would have been a complete, absolute mess. In 2024, anything I would, it was, the memories come back. It's like the Titanic, like that lady talking, just like,
That's such a good way to
I had
put
to go
it,
all the
though.
way back and bring you live the emotions again.
Yeah.
Because I seen that with Danny, like at the beginning when he would start saying something on camera, he would start getting anxious.
Yeah.
And now he says it from a different energy.
Yes.
Like when he speaks about it, it's different.
He knows he's powerful. He's a fucking leader. You got it. You know that we're doing this. It's for a purpose. This is going to go out. It's not going to come back to you. And our madness, because it's still there, is going to be soothed because of this good energy coming back. You know that you're making a difference. Also, I don't think you're an alcoholic, but you know that it's good energy coming back to you. Yeah. And I feel now that's why it feels a little bit different to have these conversations.
Yeah. Like, just like you said earlier, like I've gotten so many messages like, man, a lot of people, I hid it very well. Right, I hid my problem very, very well, and a lot of people were so surprised when I came out and started telling my story. Like, what? Like, but the amount of messages that I've gotten from strangers more are like, man, I ran through your podcast and what you said, man, it just made me more aware. I'm very appreciative of you telling me the story. I'm not alone. I went through that as a child too, and for so many years, I soothed myself with drugs. And thank you for you. I'm gonna check into rehab, and I'm gonna get on the other side of this. Just check in with counselors and therapists and talk about it. And for me, talking to a lot of the therapists, the one thing, like I always say it on this show, and I tell people all the time, like whatever angers you controls you, right? And when she said that to me, it just rattled my head because everything that I did stupid to other people, to myself, it was out of anger of something that, happened to me or something that was said to me or whatever. And that person, that place, that thing controlled me for a day, a week, a month, a year, my whole life, So yeah, like, so now it just feels better because I know that it's going to help someone. I know there's someone listening.
You're giving hope.
Yes.
And it's nice to have perspective male and then it's female. How many how many females are we seeing that are going to choose exposing themselves in this manner over their image?
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
So it's hard because people are brutal out there too.
They're brutal. And those haters can use this as ammunition. Did you hear?
Yeah.
ADHD, pills, drugs, mental institutions.
Yeah.
No, there's going to be the enemy working against us. What does it? Above that will be God and the message and hope.
That's right.
So that's where my faith is.
Yes. And Doris, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we're finishing very strong.
Yeah.
Right? We're helping people. We're pushing people, right? I mean,
Actually, I feel like we're beginning though, Dad.
Well, no. I mean,
no, you too. Finishing strong. Finish strong.
Yeah.
Right.
But I feel like this is the beginning.
Man,
you get more like this, there will be more conversations.
Exactly.
There will be more people that are going to want. Not that I'm saying that if you stay quiet, you're not choosing your spirit.
Right.
But if there's an urge, God is telling you to speak and help, and you're not using it, it's torture. It's suffocating.
Yes.
It's suffocating, and that's why there's so many diseases. So,
that's a good one.
Yeah, it is. You just feel it. So, so later, maybe with whoever comments whatever on these reels once they do come out, etc., they can DM in private, and we'll keep it private. Exactly. Just like I didn't say what was said in AA. That's how all those DMs are. They're quiet. Yeah. And like you said, the solution. I believe there's the spiritual, etc. I'm sorry, my religious. If you have to put a label on it, it's Catholic. Because I have my saints, my Virgin Virgencita. Okay. But I also believe my sister does not theta, Reiki. She does Reiki healing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, she does Reiki. I know other people that do theta. What I stay away from is palm readers. We don't need to know our future. That to me is like a sin. No. No. You use your power to create your future, and the Lord will know our destiny and help us get there.
Right.
But I feel like there's so many ways now for people to find help. There's your rehab. You go to your church, your priest, speak to somebody, your therapist, etc. And there's also spiritual ways to release, to open and release. And I feel like a lot of men don't want to do that. Right. But I'm saying you can do it and not tell anybody. Yeah. And if they want to DM me, I can send them. Not just because I'm promoting my sister's business, but I know a lot of healers. Right. Los Angeles, Vegas, Bay Area, they can do virtual work. Yeah. And what do these healers do? Close your eyes, remember this, and that. Yeah. So my sister with Reiki, I would lie down. We would go into a meditative state, and she would do her thing, whatever. And I felt like I fell asleep. When I had my eyes closed, what I saw in front of me was, I don't want to say Indians, that's not right. Aborigines, full headrest. And my conscience, my voice was telling me, and I said this on stage once, they said, remember who you are. I could smell them. I could see them. It was color. It was one indigenous man in the lead. He was like the tribe leader. I saw it. And there was other indigenous behind him. When I opened my eyes, you know what I remembered? My tours through Zacatecas. I remembered the power that I felt when I was actually there. The tribes that are still in Zacatecas, donde están las montañas, we brought back beautiful beaded artwork from the ones that, Indians isn't the right word, from the tribals that were there natives, making the, I still have them. They're little beads. It's like a deer and like a mask and everything.
Yeah.
So after that happened, she's like, what did you see? I said, I saw this. And I went to bed. And when I was in bed, I just laid there like this. And I felt just the power running through my veins, my blood. It's a passionate Mexican blood.
Yeah.
They're my ancestors. And we carry that with us
Yeah,
always.
We do. Yes.
And that's through Reiki.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I don't love my God above all else.
Right.
But I'm going to remember the power of my ancestors and the strength of my blood.
Right.
Wow.
And then almost dying so many times, I'm going to realize how beautiful things are. Only challenges now is the pain with arthritis, I think, but more if I speak, if I help, if I move more, I think my body is going to release the trauma that I hold on to if I continue to help others. I don't feel like I'm at a stage to be somebody's sponsor or madrina. I'm not a psychologist, but we can have very private back and forth conversations when I'm not at work. And same, I'm sure you would get feedback. And it's going to be that thing where we're just gonna start this.
Hey, always be connecting, baby.
Definitely. So, remember your power.
So what are you doing right now? You still have a W-2, right?
Yes.
What are you doing right now?
I'm the manager of a retail location that sells only to licensed beauty professionals.
Oh.
And the pay as well, my insurance. I have to inject myself once a week. That medicine costs $5,500.
Wow.
Okay. The insurance, I pay zero. Okay. So out of necessity, I'm still doing this, but I feel like it's kind of smushes your spirit.
What kind of shot are you taking?
It's
for your arthritis?
Yes, it's a biologic called I still can't pronounce it. Adelim. It's the generic version of Humira.
Oh, okay.
So that's a biologic that goes in once a week. So they send me to my door 4 injections in the box. It has to be refrigerated. And that alone is $5,500. My Stanford visit, the virtual visit with the rheumatologist, $750. Blood work, $1,000. Visit to the ER, $25,000. I'm holding down my W-2 job. First off, I'm blessed. Thank you for my job, Lord. Thank you.
Absolutely.
But I need the health insurance.
Right.
I see, and more now, what's happening with the contractors, the 1099s, their insurance was what, $200-300, now it's $800?
Oh, girl.
That happened this year, right? Because I've seen it all over. Well, I installed my TikTok, but I was seeing it back then.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, you know what? I'm very blessed. I would have, wow, imagine me in Mexico. Like, look at me, I'm getting paid well, this and that. I'm helping, doing what I can. I had my vacations in the past. It's been all grind since 2022 for me. I can't recall the last real vacation since I started entrepreneurship, to taxes, and then moved on to Bourgeois Media. Almost everything is right because I'm going to find a way to do business.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a way to
And
promote
what do you do with
something.
Bourgeois Media?
Bourgeois Media is, for now, okay. It started by accident. I started Doors Bourgeois Marketing in 2022, and I had to choose between marketing and taxes. I stopped that and focused on taxes. So I had trainings with, it's up here. Okay. And then last year in May.
You're not doing taxes at all no more?
Not this year, no.
Okay,
I'm going to let everything expire.
Okay.
And then if I want to, I can pick it up.
Okay.
But the thing with taxes, it's never ending. It's always a new, people trust me. Thank the good Lord they trust me. But they come with me with their big problems.
Right.
So I was just like, oh, wow. So I would have to partner with somebody on this, audits, S corps, payroll tax, blah, 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 years and years of bookkeeping. I can't find everything. I was like, oh my God. So, okay. Because they trust me. Here's all my problems. Okay. So last year I was looking, I'll just say it. Shout out to Ngozi. I said, okay, you guys are a vibe, all these conferences and everything that's happening. I said, but your Instagram page, you don't see the vibe here. And the vibe here is more important than the TV. We're all on here now.
Right.
So I said, you guys just give me the password. They gave me the password in May last year. And I took off digital networking and whatnot.
Okay.
So if it was last year I think I helped run that account for about 6 months. At first, I just did freelance. After that, I was like, I'm really good at this. You guys pay me. We figured something out. So I was like micromanaging for a while. I boosted everything, and it was organic. I started connecting all those people that I had met, connecting networks, and it just turned into more networks, more conferences, more speaking opportunities. I hit the stages. We're talking about marketing in Long Beach, Long Beach, San Diego. I hit the stage here. I forgot where it was. Here in the Oakland. Right. So these smaller things turned into larger opportunities. So I talk about marketing and media on stage. When I was on stage in Oakland, they wanted me to talk about, it was Latina excellence. So she had me be her MC and her moderator, and she wanted everybody to be kind of vulnerable on stage and share their stories and their powerful careers, doctors, blah, blah, blah. So that was a bit of a challenge. That was rough. I had to talk a little bit about my life. And I shared that Reiki story on stage, and people were like, it's true. We have powerful blood and powerful spirits. And then from there, that's the media that I said, okay, so I was running Instagram pages. What I do now, it actually converted into just doing, not just doing interviews. Like I set up my camera, and we're going to do organic interviews. Yeah. So y'all hire me. I'll go to your office. I'm going to set up my tripod. Let's set up something nice, just like this, something pretty. And that's it. I have my gear, my mics, whatever. So once I leave, I start my edits, etc. I'll upload those interviews to Google Drive. Y'all pull it, y'all post it. We collaborate. That's another one. Within my invoice, everything is clearly stated. We're going to collaborate with Bourgeon Media for about said period of time. I'm going to collaborate with the Doris Bourgeon for a minimum of 24 hours, and it's all in writing, so there's no mix-ups.
So you help them also make sure that they know how to properly reach the audience and all of that, or it's just the content?
Okay, so this is one charge where I'm going to go and do your videos. Another charge, which I was trying to lean back from, is the micromanagement. You give me the password, and I'm going in there. You don't need it. We'll have a conversation, but it's like, you do this, and that. Who do we connect you with? Chamber of Commerce. Like for Latina Excellence, for whatever. It was a bunch of other conferences, networks, everything. Her page got bombarded. For Ngozi, it's like for small businesses, who's not a business. Contractors, plumbing, everywhere. Thing is, eyes on your page. Because again, I don't want that to be my focus because it's so much work. All of that, eyes on your page while they're also creating content. Once it's created, I share a post, I'll go onto other pages, follow, repost, etc. Giving out love or whatever, interacting over there would bring back interactions to that page. So I started connecting, like the driven events that I was going to in Los Angeles, SVBN in San Jose, people that I met at the Chambers of Commerce in Sacramento, other industries, business owners. We do taxes, dude. We know all the businesses. Business, panaderia, restaurants, everybody like this. Nice. And it just turns into this giant spider web of now we can all work together type of a thing. Yes.
So yeah, and you had a lot of connections, and obviously you're using that too. So, but if somebody's watching right now, it's a small business owners that just started their business this year, what will be 2 freebies you can give them? You must do this to grow on social media, to show your business more on social media.
I'll tell you right now what I tell my clients, and I tell everybody, and I don't even charge. I don't trust your business if it's just a Canva that says Mimi's taxes with a cute little flower on it. Do your taxes with me, 1040, blah, blah. Okay. But where are you, Mimi? You're the owner. If I'm not messing with Mimi, what the hell do I care about your business? Unless I already met you in person. Yeah. If you're a complete stranger and you want my attention, you better have something in your car, at your desk, whatever. My name is Mimi. Well, my name is Doris. I do this, and that. I would be happy to help. I have such and such experience. Thank you, guys. All I have to see is that you're a real person. You're not a robot. You're not AI. Build trust. Your faith. We're not all... You don't have to be Mickey Mouse, but I have to know who you are, know you to flow you. Yeah. And I'll go to conventions and I'll meet people and I'll be like, oh, let me follow you on Instagram. And then I'll look at their page and I'll be like, where are you at though? I'll be like, you know what I'm going to do right now? Give you some fucking pity likes. Like. I had some girl to bread.
Some pretty likes.
I'm going to give, I said, I like you. I'm going to go here and give you some pity likes so that, so you pop up on my algorithm now that I've liked your content. I said, but put you here. Yeah. Why? Because I like you. I think you're cool. I'm sure a lot of other people do.
100%.
Let's let people see you too.
100%.
But we've interviewed a few folks, at least one that I can think of, they have a business. And when we talked about social media, they were like, oh, no, I don't like to go on social media. But I'm like, well, but you have a business.
Yeah.
Like, maybe don't go on it personally, but you have to.
You have to now.
Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense.
You don't have to follow your answer. You don't have to follow your heart.
Yeah.
Put the business.
Yeah.
Put the business. And I think I'll show you guys one of the panels that we did in Long Beach. I can't remember where it is, San Diego, where it's like we each have our own Instagram. The marketing panel that we did in San Diego, it's the Doris Bourgeon, then it's Bourgeon Media.
Right.
So Doris Bourgeon, it's like me and my mom, we went out to dinner. But Bourgeon Media, it's like, here's a bunch of interviews. This is my resume. This is my work.
Right.
And if you want to see kind of what I do when I'm not working, then it's over here.
Yeah.
And then if I collab, now there's another 2 sets of eyes where this audience and this audience are now looking at both of my pages.
Got
It is a lot of work.
It is.
If you don't want to run the personal,
So
then don't run it. Put your dog and what you're having for dinner on your personal pool.
Yeah.
But that business one, go ahead and start with the boring canvas at least.
Right.
Go into CapCut, or what is it called?
CapCut.
It is CapCut and Canva.
Canva.
Go into Canva, do a little
Canva.
thing, do that. Yeah. But at least, a little talking head video of some sort. Who are you? What do you do? How can you help people? Let us know.
You know what's crazy is, like, for me, people are 100 times more interested on my personal page than they are my business pages.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I'm like, man, the other day I'm looking at the views. I'm like 80,000 in 30 days, 100,000 in 30 days. And I look at my personal, almost 500,000 views the last 30 days. I'm like, what?
We want to connect.
Yeah, but I'm like, dude, I want it to be the other way around, bro.
They're connecting with you,
the
then they'll
person
go
you're attached
to
to
the
those businesses.
business.
Yeah.
However it goes, most of us is like that. Most of us is going to be our personal because they want, can
Who
I really
are you?
trust?
Yeah,
Who are you?
yeah,
Can I
yeah.
trust you with my media stuff? Can I trust? Well, back then was, can I trust you with my taxes? You know?
Right.
And I had to build that trust.
Right.
And now it's like, can I trust you with this or that? It's like, do you have the same values? Am I going to put this that is so important to me in your hands if you're going to be like a mujeriego or like,
so-
we look at stuff
But
like
some
that.
people, well, that's exactly the reason why sometimes people have a hard time, like, putting themselves out there. And I can tell you, even for me, like, I always been pretty private when it comes to my social media. Like, it was always like, you have to send me a friend request that was never open. And then we started doing this, and I was getting a lot of friend requests, and I'm like, okay, I can't be managing this on a regular basis. And also, I'm like, okay, well, like it or not, I'm public now, right? Like, I'm
Can't hide no more, baby.
And so I noticed that, but it was tough for me, and it still is sometimes for me. Like, sometimes I post stuff, and I was like, normally I would just post it. It'll be just my small group of friends, and now I'm like, oh, well, this is gonna go to everybody. But I'm like, okay, whatever. That's just me.
Yeah. It's a trip. Is I had a customer yesterday, and she was like, man, not a new customer, gave us an opportunity to walk this really big facility for renovation. And, I haven't seen her in years. She's like, I went down a rabbit hole. So I went to your LinkedIn. I checked out your LinkedIn, right? And then I went to Google and I found you on Instagram. I found the businesses. But she's all, but then I went to your personal page, right? And I was like, showing my boss and my boss's boss, like, look at this guy. He's family orientated. He has, he had to raise his daughters, and he's involved with softball. And this is the kind of vendor we want working on our property.
Yes.
And then when she said that, it was just like, people are going to my personal page to see exactly who I am.
It's like a more detailed background check.
Right. Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
And
It's
when
like
she said that, it gave me kind of chills. Like, well, then that makes sense, because my personal page has almost 500,000 views, and I look at my business page, it's nothing. So everybody's going there to see your resume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also,
Crazy.
people want connection, and they want to be in some sort of way part of your life, right?
Right,
Because
right.
your person or your business page is some guy painting the top, which is exciting to you.
That's
but
your resume.
Yeah.
You're showing your resume.
So a lot of people that I talk to who are trying to start a business, the first thing they always tell me is like, how did you do it? Right? Like, I got this full-time job, I love it. I'm very grateful for it, but I don't want to do this, right? I want to do my passion, but there's no money, right? And I tell people, depending on what they want to do, So you're a perfect example of this, right? You have your full-time job, and then you're chasing down your
breathing,
business.
eating everything meaty as soon as I clock out.
So that's what I was.
Yeah.
So what kind of advice, real quick, can you give? Like, these are the clips I love to get and send them to all those people.
Okay.
Because I'm like, look, you're not alone. It's scary, right? It is fucking hard. You're gonna have to sleep, eat, and breathe this if you want it to get rolling, right? Because sometimes I get the vibe like it sounds like you want it to be easy. It sounds like you want it to like just happen, right? And to me, I just can't comprehend that because I went through hell to get these businesses going, right? So what kind of advice or what can you just tell someone in this camera if you're trying to start a business and you have a W-2, right? Give them some of that juice, you know what I mean? Like what you're doing.
The
exactly.
most powerful will be those connections. Get out of your safe space.
Yes.
Coming from an empath and an introvert. I get this. How do you know? I met people at Global Process. How do you know them? I was like, Instagram and just, whatever. Build that network. But to me, it's not just networking. It's about making connections. Why do I just want to know people? I want to have that real connection because we're all God's children.
Always be connected.
Always be connected. Thank you. And to me, it's like, we're God's children. Can we be connected on a bigger, And that's how a lot of my business, because they see that, might have to edit it, but because I am thinking about it a lot.
Yeah,
they see that you have good intentions, that you have a clear path of what it is that you want to do, how you want to build your business, how you can help others grow. When people see that passion, that fire in you, it's contagious. They're gonna want to be part of that, right? So one of my biggest is get out of your comfort zone. I don't care if you're shy, you think you're ugly, without I take off my eyelashes, right? Like fucking SpongeBob with no lashes. You gotta get out there. You got to get out there and you got to meet people wherever it is. Go sit at a restaurant, go sit in a hotel, find places to go. Once you start building that network, other ideas actually start spurring. Other ideas on how to build your business. I started with taxes. My network got so vastly large that media came in smoothly from this baby that was taxes of my entrepreneurship. That's advice. Get out of your comfort zone. Go out and meet people. Have that business mindset of, in my W-2 job, again, I'm grateful, but that's not what I was meant to be for. This is because this is now because I need the treatment.
Yeah.
As my business grows, the point is to get out of there and have more freedom. I have to clock in, I clock out. That's not freedom to me. My mind is a million, and I can build that business, and I do because I've been in management for a long time. I know that I have the fire to build that business, so why not do it?
Do it for yourself.
Do it for myself. Build that business for myself.
Let's go, man.
So if I can add a little bit more, to get a little more granular on what you're just telling, so, and I can tell you, so obviously the message is get out there more, step out of your comfort zone, but so if you're speaking to me, I'm an empath, and I'm literally talking for myself. Like I don't have the same energy that Danny has. I definitely, I can tell you, I feel people's feelings, so I'm very careful. It takes a long time for you to have deep conversations with me, right? Like my wife, Danny, is similar as well. Like we meet a person and they're having all these conversations right away, and
I can't do that either.
Sometimes people think that I'm being shy, and oftentimes it's not shyness. It's something different. And like I said, it's almost like I have to learn how to control my energy around you and understand you before I can actually
make that connection.
But that becomes an issue sometimes. Like when you're trying to network and be in, mixers and whatnot. So what is one concrete thing, one thing you would say, like, do this?
You guys are going to laugh at me. We're like right here. I met him. I'm a hi. He's a hi. I'm a nice to meet you. Okay, thank you. And he walked away. But him, because we were already talking, I was like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
You see me at networking events and there's witnesses, I will just stand there. You guys will have a conversation. I listen because I still am not using my mouth and I stutter a lot. And I just don't know what to say sometimes. Okay, I'm very awkward sometimes. I'm an empath. To that point, and you guys are going to laugh. I go to events and I will sit there, and sometimes I don't talk to me. I just kind of look and I'll smile. Later, I'll go on Instagram. I'll put SVBN as an example. I'll look at the stories after an event. I'll look at the stories who was there. I'll tap on each story and start. I'll either follow or I'll like that other person that was their stuff that was in the room with me. Guess what? I saw either they tell me or I tell them. I saw you at that event. You were just sitting, you know. And then we start having conversations. Yeah. Okay. So that's, again, you guys can laugh at me as much as you want, but I
never.
Empath, please. I will literally just stand there. I think it happened last week. I was just like, just standing there. People were talking. I was at a gala. Everybody was talking, and I'm just standing there, like listening to a conversation. Hi, and I'll talk a little bit in it. But now I'm connected with them. I think I got another client. But yeah, use the power of social media to connect with some people, and if that relationship can grow, you can feed into that.
Yeah. And it helps you break that barrier, right?
It helps you break that barrier. Not only that, I know social media is very curated, okay? So we can be as organic or not, but everything that I post is with intention, okay? So then even from their stuff, you can see, like, I'm not a big fan of people showing like their everything unless you're a model. Other than that, please have, a little bit of dignity.
Right.
Save the goodies for your, you know.
Absolutely.
So I'm not a big fan of these poses that are like this and that, kudos on making your money. But that's not, I don't need, you don't need to be my best friend. You know what I'm saying? So even stuff like that, little by little, if it feels right, okay, I still don't trust nobody until we have deeper conversations. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to shy away from a conversation. Also with time, people around them, I don't want to blah. Okay, so I've driven. I'm here and there, and people that are around me can tell me a little bit more about those other people that I just met because they know that I'm an empath. They know that I'm somewhat sensitive. Hey, Doris, this person treated that like that. This person said that about that, and that over there cheated on his wife over that.
Oh, no.
And they were talking about it over here. Okay. And damn, did I say what event that was? You guys might have to edit that out. Yeah. But some shit, no, I didn't. Oh, thank goodness. See, some shit happens behind the scenes. Yeah. And people that truly know me, people that truly know you, will give you a warning of people that maybe you don't want to associate so much yourself with. But that doesn't mean that that's going to stop me from shaking hands or even sitting there. And then later I will utilize social media. Yeah. I'll go into the thing. I went to my first Latino Tax Fest in Las Vegas in 2023. I didn't know anybody. You know what I did? Latino Tax Fest, the corporation. I went to whoever Latino Tax Fest followed. I click on following. And I started following a bunch of people that were associated to Latino Tax Fest. Yeah. With time, prior to even getting to the festival in Las Vegas, I had already made digital connections. Yeah. We were joking around about memes. I was asking them questions about their business. I was, complimenting their office, how beautiful, pretty wife, what a good-looking family, Yeah. Good vibes. By the time I actually got to Vegas, it was amazing. Is that you, Doris? Knew them. I felt like, is that you, Doris? And now I'm like BFFs with like this. And that's from one empath to another. Right. Be smart about the digital networking. Yeah. Whoever doesn't work out with time, you just kind of like. Yeah. Right. I do unfollow. I did it yesterday. It's time for me to unfollow who is not aligned with me anymore.
Right on.
You know why? Because
filtering.
You start filtering. Yeah. Not only that, when you're following somebody or you like their stuff, it's your floating head. My floating head on Instagram is my reputation too. We were talking about earlier. Right. So if it says that Doris is following Paco's Tacos, my friends are going to be like, "Oh, you know Paco from Paco's Tacos?" I'll be like, "What? No. You're following him? Oh shit. Okay. I never met him, but I meant to visit the restaurant, etc." Right. That would happen to me a lot with taxes. Okay. So I do that. I go through and I filter with time who is not for me, who we are not aligned with. I'm already 43. My dad passed at 49. I don't have time to waste. I don't got time or energy.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, so I go through and I'll filter out unfollows, but I take that risk of following and interacting first.
Yeah.
I think you said a very key thing. You're taking that risk.
I'm gonna take the risk. Everything is a risk, but with time, it's like. I saw how you yelled at your, y'all be all sweetie tweety on Instagram. Yeah. But behind the scenes, it's like, quítate, like shit. And it's fine, but if you're gonna be a dick, show it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I always say. Like,
don't be an asshole, show it.
As long as you're being honest about who you are,
You're an
respect you.
asshole. Be an asshole.
I mean, this guy's an asshole. I still love him.
I'll say my cuss words too.
Yeah,
People know I got
right.
shit on my back.
Yeah.
People know that they can also come to me if something's happening. I will stick up more for them than for myself, because for me, I'll just like leave it slide. Get away from me. Your punishment is you don't get to be around me. I'm not going to give you my energy.
Yeah.
And it's not a punishment. It's just fuck it. It's not worth it.
It's not worth your time or
because
energy.
I need to be here. This is the calling. And with time, you just see who's just not meant for you. But that you have to take that risk
100%.
and use social media as a tool. I know it seems shallow, but I've made so many real connections.
But that's the new thing
It
now,
is a
though.
thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's not shallow if you use it properly
Right.
and
Yeah,
you
100%.
find the clip. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for social media. I saw you guys on the Roots of Ambition, and then we finally met in person. That's so funny that you're in. I'm a hi, nice to meet you. He's a hi, and then we just kind of like put it away. And then I went with my friend, and it was crab cakes, and I was just eating a bunch of crab cakes, and I was standing there listening to everybody's conversation.
Yeah.
That's what I did at that event too.
I was like, crab cakes?
Yeah.
King's Fish House. These are like $20. I was just like, no.
Yeah. So
I took my pictures. I took media. I interviewed a few people, and then and once I got to the car, my DMs were like, and then I would hit the stories, and I made more connections.
Yeah.
I met that lovely lady with your cigar lounge or whatever.
Oh,
we
yeah,
connected through Instagram.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And other people, and with stuff. I like, and I'll repost her stuff. You guys are at the cigar lounge. I'm like, because it's good vibes.
Yes,
So you get the good
absolutely.
energy from people like that.
Absolutely. That's how we help each other out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about networking. And that's a lot of things like a lot of people don't understand. Like I think in today's age with the business and the tools that we have, and if you have a business, if you're not networking or using social media, you're gonna fall behind. You are gonna fall behind. That's I try to preach that. Like you have to get out there, man. You have to. This new wave of networking is through social media. And I think you just said it best. Like you go and you like and you share and you respond to people, and that's how you get to know people.
And with time, you'll see who's not following you. With time, I did it yesterday. When I hit unfollow, I realized that they weren't following me back. And I said, why am I spending energy on you?
Right.
I can still cheer you on, and I'm not a hater. But why am I spending my energy on you if you're not going to come back and show me a little bit of your love and your energy on my page? I just thought of something else to help business. That's free advice. Google Maps. You have to have that business on Google Maps. Then there's reviews. Okay. So that's public information. Okay. So, because I leave 2.9 million. You guys,
That's impressive.
Okay.
That's really
So
impressive.
you leave these reviews, a good karma for everybody. Okay. But if you're the business owner, you're on Google Maps with those reviews, if they're all good, well, which should be right. Public information. Get those reviews and create those reviews into a beautiful Canva with your logo. Yes, please show your face so I know who you are. Okay, who are you, business owner? What do you do? What do you represent? Blah, blah, okay. But put testimonials, Google reviews. Put that on your social media too if you don't want to be a super fun Instagram or whatever. You utilize that. Yeah. There's a bunch of reviews.
You know who's
Use that
very
review
good with doing reviews on Google?
Put them.
My teenager.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everywhere we go, he does reviews.
No
Okay.
way.
Yeah, and he just does it natural because that
That's
kid,
awesome.
I don't know.
He wants other people to know his experience because that's how I found my oil change. That's how I was like, oil change. It's a good review. Such and such was great, blah, 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 blah. As soon as I went, I loved it. This person was amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I've been going back and going back and going back.
Wow.
So an easy strategy for them was screenshot it, copy and paste over here to Canva, put a beautiful logo of your own business, show people the world, show people that you have amazing reviews and great customers and a good reputation.
Absolutely.
That's an easy one. Do it for free. Canva. Have your kids do it. I'm not good. I'm not that great at it, but you guys get the point, right?
Heck yeah. So what are 3 goals that you have this year for your business?
Okay.
Three. What are you shooting for this year?
3 goals for my business. Okay. Proud to say that finally I'm paying my estimated taxes. I know that's not a goal, but it's like, it hurt, but it's an accomplishment. And I did it yesterday.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, I filed an extension for my sole prop for my business. I've never done that before because I have very blessed with income 1099s, W-2s, a bunch of expenses. I need to finish getting myself together. And then I paid my estimated taxes. So there's growth.
Okay.
There's growth for the business in terms of hopefully incorporating, but More than that, forget it. It's because it's not my goals. I want to help business owners grow. That's my thing. I want to give other people's visibility. It's a gift of mine. I get people that I interview and they're scared to speak up. So when I get there, I'm like, it's okay. And then they start opening up and they represent the business or the company that they're working for. I love doing that. I love making people feel comfortable. Yes. So not only is that a goal to do more of that, that's what it has been all along. So there's one. For the business is just do more interviews and have people feel comfortable with that, more exposure for their business. But I think more than business, I think goal-wise is still going to be me, my mindset, more than anything. Being an empath is never going to go away, right? But I want to, why do I feel like we should be leading a revolution of some sort? People that stand up for doing the right thing, the good against the evil, protecting the children.
Absolutely.
People like us, we need to protect the children. We need to help other people see that there's hope. Again, these are... I told you, I'll promote my business, but to me, it's me, it's my person, it's my soul. That's more important than my business.
Yeah.
And it's all attached. People see that when I do my work.
Yeah.
It's attached to it. So I feel like, do we protect more, help more, speak more?
Yeah.
Can we conversate later on narcissistic people, escaping narcissistic relationships, people trying to leave a domestic violence? Where can people turn to help for... Oh, God damn, I see hungry kids, dude. There shouldn't be no hungry kids. Why are there homeless veterans? That's not right.
Right.
So you asked me about my business and it's just obvious it's going to go back to my person and how I feel I can change the world.
But
the business is over here and the Lord will bless me. Yeah, I want it to grow.
I think, but that is like...
It's my essence. It's me.
That's
what it is.
That's your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Absolutely.
And what's funny is I'll go on stage and I'll talk about business and in the back of my mind, I'm like, put me at another conference where I can talk to a bunch of alcoholics and have them fucking snap out of it already. You're loved. We love you. Lord loves you. You're still here. You're powerful. Get out of it.
I'm glad you brought that up. Have you thought about doing it? Have you done that where you go like speaking to classes of people?
I don't know how. I don't know where and I don't know how. And hopefully this podcast can open up a little bit.
Right.
I thought about going back to the rehab facility that I failed, that I got out of and relapsed. It's only women.
Yeah, maybe start there.
Maybe I can start there. Somebody wanted me to go speak to some people. I think it was in Oakland. And then again, we lose touch. So if anybody does reach out, you guys have to kind of constantly remind me because I don't. I was invited. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm good at media and I'm good at marketing and I can share. But I'm not gonna lie, when I'm on the stage and we're doing all of this, in the back of my mind, I closed one of the conferences. Oh my God, what the hell did I say when I closed it out? I said, impact over influence. Y se callaron todos. That was so funny. I was like, I'm sorry. It was like all bubbly media and marketing. And some guy was like, do you guys feel, I forgot what his question was, but it was something like, do you guys feel you are successful? And one of the girls was like, well, I feel like, business owner and being a mother, dude, surviving now and being a good example, that's successful. And then, but he said it like in a condescending kind of tone. So then I spoke about success a little bit and I said, you know what, we could be media, marketing, whatever, but I know these women, they're powerful as hell. They're leaders, they're growing businesses, helping their families, women of God. And to me, impact is more important than influence. Everybody went quiet and I was like, shit, I think this is the wrong crowd.
Right.
But that man that had that condescending tone, I was outside speaking to somebody about media. I was helping her fix her Instagram, like on the spot. And he said, that's a timer. And he said, I appreciate what you said. I appreciate what you said. And I didn't mean to give off that tone.
The quietness might have just been that you snap people out of it. Like, people sometimes say things and don't really fully think through it.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm one that sometimes I'd say this to a fault. Like, you say something, like, and if I disagree and it's not a value of mine, I just let it be.
You just leave it alone.
Yeah. But if it's one of my values, I have to say something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I agree with that. And I think when you say that to some people, sometimes they're like, you are right. That's not correct. You shouldn't do that. And you just kind of snap you snap them out of it. And you might have just done that to a whole crowd.
Right. It was a giant crowd, yeah. And some of them were like this, and some were like, and And I said, and then Sonia took the mic and she goes, "God bless everybody, thank you." And then everybody started clapping. So she had to snap them back to the super fun thing that we were going to.
Got
but
you.
it was because he was like it felt like it was like an undermining thing about success. Because I think it was a bunch. I don't want to say what the conference was, but very fancy everything, and it was like all this money, and we're talking about media, and to him it was this money mindset, and I think that's what the message was conveying.
But don't you think that's a little bit of sometimes that can be the social media is such a great thing, but I think you can slip into that because there's so much positivity on the business side of things and oftentimes it becomes almost like you don't want to idolize these successful people ideas, because what made you successful, I can tell you 100 different men and women that have been successful in many different ways. Some have sacrificed this, some have sacrificed this, some had different stop lines. Like, I'm willing to go here and I'm willing to go there. Everything's gonna have a level sacrifice, but oftentimes when you just see these snippets that sound great, that we all repost, you have to be very careful that is at the end of the day, is you have to look inside. Because if you're just looking outside, I think social media can sometimes be like, no, I have to get on that wheel because I must be successful. Mm-hmm. If I'm making $100 million a year, now I gotta make $1 billion. If that's your goal and that's your life experience and that's your calling, I think that should be the right thing. Mm-hmm. But what if you are the person that wants to live in the beach and sell, I don't know, like jet skis and just, who am I to tell that person
that's his success?
That might be, so his success is different, right?
Everybody's ambition is different.
And like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I believe that success is in the eye of the beholder.
I like that.
And that is one of the that's why I said impact over influence. That was part of that's what I felt made me successful, is that I'm going to want to choose the impact over something that I don't feel is just influenced. I don't feel like that's enough.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like God gave us more power than influence is not enough for me. It's like desesperada, it's not enough, and that includes putting myself on blast with embarrassing stories sometimes, and it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is.
That's who we are. That's what we did. That's how we moved on. Man, this has been awesome, Doris.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Man.
We need to talk further.
Man,
I thought he was just quiet. I didn't know it was an impact too.
No, there's going to be a part 2. We got to do a part 2 for sure. Man, first of all, thanks for coming on here. So this was awesome. This is going to go far and help a lot of people, man.
I hope you had a good time.
Already. Yeah, thank you.
Did you have a good time? Did you like the vibe?
This is amazing. You guys have, amazing. Thank you. Beautiful home, beautiful family. Thank you so much for the invitation. And it's not easy to talk things like that, so you guys made it very clear from the beginning that it was an open conversation. So I appreciate having a conversation, and it wasn't just about me. I can hear about you as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you guys so much.
Man, for all the people who don't know you, who follow our platform, can you tell them who you are, where you're from, how they can find you, all the good stuff, Doris?
Yes, of course. Thank you. Well, my name is Doris Bourgeon. It's not a hard name to find. No. Please don't find my address. I'm just kidding. On Instagram, it's the Doris Bourgeon, and then my media page is Bourgeon Media, which I do believe I just started. I started last year. Mind you, I work more for clients than I do sometimes building my own page. That's where I'm like, because I put in a lot of work for the clients and new ideas and virtual visits, virtual visits and everything. So, you guys can find me there. I live in San Jose, California, but for now I'm doing interviews in the Bay Area. From San Jose, to here, I drove about 2 hours. I can do that. And hopefully soon in the future, I can start doing interviews in Southern California. Right. So I can block out some time and just do simple organic videos where we can have simple conversations and people can see what the real business owner is about. And not that all the other marketing is amazing. I know all the marketing people that do real full-on edited videography. I don't do all that. Mine is going to be simple videos, simple interviews with captions, and then we collab, get the viewers out there, and very organic media. For now, we'll see what the future holds.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, man. Great job.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being brave and sharing all those powerful stories. And you're welcome anytime. We'll definitely have a part 2.
Yes.
So you all know what time it is. Like, follow, and subscribe. Make sure to leave us a comment. Go follow her. Make sure you like, because she's going to be watching. She's going to unfollow you if you don't.
I'm like, how dare you? You viewed it, but you didn't follow me. I give people 3 months. Just kidding. Thank
So
you.
this is the Roots of Ambition.
This is Danny.
Angel.
Burn the ships. Great job.
Thank you,
man.
great
Thank you guys
job.
so
I hope
much.
you had a great time.
Y'all have-
Of ambition, yeah.